Yeah. Yeah. Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of Beer Dweebs United. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're here. There's three of us right now. Lee, what are you going to be drinking tonight?
Right now I'm drinking Propeller Revolution.
And so you shall.
Nice. And yourself, Nicholas?
And I'm having a triple Carmelite.
Nice. I'm going to start with the last bottle of the chocolate lager from Siemens, just to get rid of it. I'm putting together all my beer mails that I'm going to be sending out in February, and Nick is the hardest one to get something together for because basically anything I can get here, he's starting to be able to get in fucking New Brunswick.
You just opened up something I can't get.
No, you don't really want it.
Just saying. There's probably still plenty of stuff out there that you could pick up if you wanted to send it to me. I'm not super worried about it, though, so I got a shit ton of beer left here. But, I mean, some of the Ontario breweries, they bring out a couple of beers, and then, I mean, it's not like I've seen beers from everybody yet. I haven't seen anything from, there's not a lot comes in from Black Oak. We just got their Nutcracker Porter again. Why in January, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they put that out usually November-ish, so it's probably leftover stock now.
Yeah. We got 10 bitter years in again. That's just former self anyway.
I've had everything there is to drink. That's why I'm retired from beer tubing.
Mm-hmm. Have you had triple Carmelite?
I have, yeah, sure.
Boiled again.
I have, sure, yeah.
Have you had yes? Have you had this? Yes.
I mean,
yes.
if you could just look on my floor right now, I have all the entire Bourbon County lineup for this year just sitting there.
What'd you think of the barley wine?
It was J. Terrio approved. Or wait, it wasn't J. Terrio approved.
Didn't you hate that one?
Yeah, he didn't like it. I guess I must have went bad or something. There was like bad batches.
Oh, really?
From what I understand, yeah.
That sucks.
Really bad batches from them.
I guess they even acknowledged it and everything. So.
Wow. That's surprising that they'd actually go out and acknowledge it too.
Fucking Anheuser-Busch, man, they ruined them. They're not craft beer anymore.
Well, this is the thing, right? Anything barrel-aged, there's always a chance. Winter is Coming was just asking me recently if I had had any aged bottles of Whiny Bastard because he had one from 2013 that had gone sour, like actually gone sour to a vinegar point, not just what it's supposed to be. And I'm like, well, yeah, you're not really supposed to cellar barrel-aged beers. Everybody thinks you are, but it's supposed to be just the plain beer that hasn't been barrel-aged that you cellar. Because when you're cellaring a barrel-aged beer, you have all the different bacteria that could have been in the wood, all the different bacteria that could have been in the actual barrel itself, any things that could have fallen in while you're hooking them up, because there's a lot of air that goes from pouring it into the barrel, then pouring it into something else to bottle it off of, bottling it, then you keep opening it because you fucking all barrel-aged beers end up getting mixed to a certain extent. They end up getting
We had a barrel that was filled with something that was left empty for a while, then had beer put into it, and during that time it was exposed to air and had sugars all over it. Any kind of bacteria can grow in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with not perfect.
With wine barrels, you're really kind of playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, especially with wine, because I mean, Brett can get into something when you didn't want Brett in there. Lots of other things as well. So I mean, I actually have a bunch of barrel-aged beers on the other side of the basement that I probably shouldn't have aged, because some of them I know aren't going to turn out, and some of them will, but you're playing Russian roulette a lot with those.
Why don't you try one on camera right now?
Maybe when I'm done.
Or playing Russian roulette on camera?
Yeah.
Well,
We have to sort of cut down the cast a little bit, make room for new people showing up. So.
What year?
Oh, Gregory's here. Awesome.
I am.
So First and foremost from our beer news is Bushwhacker Brew Pub celebrates its 25th anniversary. So Bushwhacker Brew Pub is in Saskatchewan, Regina, Saskatchewan. I didn't actually realize that they had a craft brewery that was 25 years old. I didn't,
Wow.
because you only really hear of Bushwhacker and Paddockwood if you're outside of Saskatchewan. I don't know if there is anything other than those two.
I've never heard of either of them, so.
Oh, see, I've had beer from Bushwhacker because it was sent to me from, I don't remember if it was Jordan or Beer Zerker that sent it to me, but I've had one Bushwhacker beer. And I've had a bunch of beers from Paddockwood because Paddockwood used to sell for a little while at the beer store.
I've had
But
a couple of Bushwhacker myself. They came to the Fredericton Beer Fest there in 2013.
Yeah, like it's an interesting thing to think of. Like I know there's a lot of breweries in Ontario and Nova Scotia and all that are 25 years old. But when you look at a province that really doesn't have much craft beer-wise, it's surprising to see one that's survived 25 years.
Especially the prairies. You don't hear about a lot of breweries out there that, craft breweries out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the best part about it is you could be, almost a day away and you could still see it. I know where I'm going. Right over there.
It may be further distance-wise, but at least it's a straight line.
You kick your girlfriend out of the house, 2 weeks later you still see her walking to her new home.
Well, in your case, you don't see it, but.
Well, that's true, I don't. So Wellington Brewing Company has announced upcoming small batch releases. So Wellington is releasing, the next 3 small batch releases will be the Terrestrial India Brown Ale is coming back in a newly designed 473 milliliter can. On Monday, February 5th, the brewery will be celebrating International Gruit Day with a yet-to-be-named gruit brewed using mugwort, I've never had mugwort, lemon balm, chamomile, and lemon peel.
Oh, God, that does not sound good.
It doesn't, but at the same time, I kind of want it.
I'm thinking, we got to place all of our money on the mugwort, somehow neutralizing all those other ingredients.
And then lastly, they're coming out with their chocolate milk stout, which I really wouldn't count as a small batch release. They put that out at least twice a year. Just the same as the Terrestrial Brown Ale. That comes out all the time. Yeah.
I just saw boobies.
You did?
From where?
Pictures are didn't happen.
No, real ones, like 3D. They shot out at me.
Is that why all that noise happened over on your
Found out
end?
that they're actually penises.
I find it hard to tell sometimes.
So
Yeah.
Amsterdam is launching its farmhouse series with a homegrown saison. So
Okay.
the Amsterdam farmhouse series will be kicking off with homegrown saison, a beer made with all Ontario ingredients that had a small test run last autumn, and will now be available as a wider release, including LCBO distribution in the coming weeks. The new beer will be served for the first time as part of the beer dinner taking place at Amsterdam Brewhouse this Thursday, January 20th.
So if it's an Amsterdam beer that's an LCBO release, it's probably not going to be very good, because usually their good stuff is the stuff you can only get at the brewery.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do a saison, they better do something interesting with it, because they're kind of a dime a dozen these days. So, they might take it serious like they did their Tempest and shit.
We'll see.
Oh, there is a new brewery opening up in Toronto for you, Mr. Greg.
Really? New brewery in Toronto? That's shocking.
You ready? Radical Road.
I've heard of them.
Radical Road will be opening up this spring in Leslieville.
I don't know where I've heard of that brewery before. I don't know
Radical
why I've heard
Road
of them,
Brewing
but-
Company was the contract brewery that was being made out of Black Oak. It was Black Oak's old brewmaster brewery.
Yeah, that was the one where they had those really expensive bottles that were like $13 each or something, and it was like a Pilsner or some weird shit like that.
They had the Candyman Scotch ale aged in Isla barrels, and the Wayward Sun, which was a strong barrel aged beer in Pinot Noir barrels, and both were like $14.
Oh, okay.
And they
So
were-
it wasn't
they were
quite
in-
a Pilsner, but
They were in 750s. They were released
Yeah.
in 2013. They were in almost like Flying Monkeys boxes. Just
so
boxes
did the brewmaster? That's what's his name? That was Simon, right? Did he leave the brewery? Did he leave Black Oak to start his own thing?
I'm not sure if it was Simon or there was another guy brewing there at the time too. I don't remember which one it would have been. The other guy was, oh, I can't remember his name.
You know what? I'm actually not surprised that like Ken might have some bleeding going on because I mean Ken doesn't seem to want to try to do much new stuff. Like they release like 4 new beers a year, where some of these brewers like they're like artists. They want to make new shit.
Yeah.
They don't just want to make nut brown all day.
The standalone version of Radical Road is expected to open this spring at 1177 Queen Street East, near Jones Avenue.
I wonder if that's anywhere near Bellwoods.
Now, isn't Queen Street where the Beer Academy was?
That was on Victoria
Okay,
Avenue.
Victoria, you're right. Yeah. No, I'm just like all these breweries that are opening up in Toronto. There must be severe rent on a lot of these buildings.
Well, that's why some of them are opening up in freaking like I went to Blood Brothers and they are like in a room of a warehouse basically. Like it's like a place you'd expect to go get murdered, but hey, you can buy beer there.
Oh, was the beer any good?
I've had 3 of them, and I've only really enjoyed one of them. And unfortunately, they were cash only, so I only had enough to buy a few bottles. So I got to go back there with more cash next time. But so far, the 2 IPAs, one of them I like. The other one, I really think it was an off bottle. I don't think it was. It just tasted really weird. And then their stout was good, but way too sweet. It was like a white chocolate stout, basically tasted like drinking tiramisu.
Nice.
Ooh.
But way too sweet. 500 milliliter bottle, I'd happily share with somebody.
Now, to continue on with our normal stuff, you know what? We always talk about breweries getting bought out. Well, the beer world is so big now that even apps are getting bought up and taken on by other people. The beer tracker Untapped is moving on to the next level. They are conglomerating with Next Glass, which is another bigger app that like tells you what you should drink next. They say nothing's changing on the format of the app or anything like that. There's the guys that own the app are still going to be running it. Everything's going to stay the same. It's just going to have more exposure, more reach, that sort of thing. But it's interesting to me that even like just fucking apps about beer are moving hands.
Mm.
Happy.
Yeah, that's probably your nerds with cell phones and shit. I don't give a fuck.
You just call me a nerd.
Yeah, I called you
Nerds with cell phones?
Yeah, nerds with cell phones. You're all fucking nerds. Deal with it.
I think at this point you're kind of a nerd for not having a cell phone because you're like the...
He's the hipster.
You're like the hipster. You're too cool to have it.
He doesn't have
I'm not saying I'm too cool to have it. I'm just saying I don't have one. Yours could be cool. Stop integrating your own demographic.
See, I'm actually one of those people that doesn't like cell phones, even though I do have one, because now everyone can get a hold of me wherever I am.
Yeah, I don't like cell phones either. You know, my battery was dying in a day forever. It was just dead within hours. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what? I had that Facebook Messenger on there. And as soon as I deleted that, my battery lasts like 4 days again.
Further proof that Facebook is cancer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm still subscribed to some of those beer discussion things on Messenger. And sometimes when Jay and Jordan are going at it, they'll just beep, 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 beep.
Here's 18 other vintage fucking pitchers of beer that no one wants to drink. Thanks, Jay.
Hey, I have some of those beers over here, and I'm going to drink them.
Yeah,
but you're doing them as a freak show experiment. You're not drinking fresh bottles of them.
Yeah, I've got some of those Facebook chat windows too, but I muted them all so they didn't keep popping up with notifications.
Yeah, I just jumped out of them because I'm tired of idiocy.
It works.
Steam Whistle. Steam Whistle, as much as people hate them, has gone to court with the Albertan government, and right now they have been granted an injunction against Alberta's protectionist beer tax. Basically, the Supreme Court is going to be looking at whether or not the government is doing something illegal right now, because they did give an injunction saying that the beer tax to protect the breweries just in Alberta and put a huge tax on breweries outside of Alberta is against the Constitution, which lets free trade flow from province to province. all Steam Whistle said that this tax is going to make, because the premier of Alberta has gone on that he's going to make a whole bunch of new jobs with this. The Steam Whistle went in saying Muskoka's already left. That's 6 jobs that were already lost from Muskoka leaving. Another, like Lake of Bays has already left. That was another 5 jobs. We're about to leave. That's 15 jobs. So
I'm definitely not a conservative, but I think that decision from the NDP was kind of dumb, poorly thought out, and it should have only applied for the big boys.
Well, and part of this article is talking about how, there was that big lawsuit with Quebec and New Brunswick, and with the outcome of that, where they basically were saying, yeah, this can't happen. Why would the NDP go out and do this tax, knowing that it's already been shown that people will, the courts will side with them?
Because they want to kowtow to isolationist fucking Westerners who think that they're better than everyone else, and they don't want anyone else stepping into their fucking woodshed. That's why, because they have that fucking attitude. They've always had that fucking attitude. They think they're fucking Texas, for fuck's sakes. But anything that keeps Steam Whistle out of other provinces, I have to sort of support.
You really hate that Steam Whistle.
I'm worried about Steam Whistle. I think Alberta needed Muskoka more.
Actually, though, I do agree with Lee on that, because Steam Whistle is only good if you get it fresh. By the time you ship it to another province, it's not going to be good.
Even then, it's pretty dodgy.
You know what? The greatest part about it is it also talks about the defense that Calgary has used, that Alberta's used, and they're like, well, Ontario gives us the same tax if we want to sell at the LCBO, and the LCBO came out and went, what type of crack are you smoking? Everybody pays the exact same to get into the beer store, and anybody can get into the LCBO, and your taxes and everything are the exact same. Here's our paperwork. Ontario brewers are paying the exact same taxes you are. I've never seen another alcohol purveyor in another province ever actually step up to when they're being slammed and going, whoa, 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 slow your roll, bitches. This is what is going on. And, well, really, that's all the beer news that was interesting this time around, to be honest with you. There was nothing this week unless you wanted to talk about how, Mike Huckabee over in the U.S. has never tasted beer because he doesn't like the smell of it.
Yeah, Mike Huckabee probably doesn't like the smell of pussy either. He's probably never tasted that.
Oh. I don't know who Mike Huckabee is, should I?
He's just a U.S. conservative.
He's just conservative,
Republican,
right-wing, religious nutcase who was really fat, got really thin for his initial kind of run for government, and then got really fat again.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much all he's ever done.
For a chain of successful restaurants in the southern U.S.
Yeah, but you don't really have to do much to be successful in southern U.S. You just have to have a Confederate flag on your restaurant. And
you have to dislike those colored folks.
Yeah, you have to. Here's the Asian section. Here's the colored section.
Self-right.
Freedom. Sorry,
I'm going to drink a Mill Street Tank House Ale.
Ah, there you go.
Bitch. You fucking bitch. I hate you.
Is that Mill Street Brewed or is that Labatt Brewed?
This is Mill Street Brewed. Probably one of the last brewings of Mill Street Brewed.
See, that's the only Mill Street beer that I genuinely really like, and I'm wondering if they're gonna fuck that one up in the next couple years.
Probably will. It'll probably taste like their 100th Meridian fucking thing at some point.
To Molson's credit, it took them about 8 years to really screw over Creemore Springs. That used to actually still be pretty good beer up until about 2 years ago, and now they've got their expansion, they got their filters in there, and that beer has now gone to crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Creemore Springs, I still like some of their beer, but I don't like it as much as I used to.
Well, their lager, which you can often find with any place that has Molson accounts, is still better than most macro beers you can get. But
it's great for the style, isn't it?
But it's it used to actually be hey, this is a lager, but it's actually got some really nice flavors in it. And now it's kind of eh.
You know which beer of theirs really went downhill in my eyes? Their Pilsner, especially when they changed to the Lot 9 Pilsner, which was the really old recipe of it. Holy fuck, that beer just dropped
Oh yeah,
off the face
because
of the earth.
their original Pilsner was good, and then they switched. They discontinued it, put it to the Lot 9, which is basically, hey, we've just watered it down by 1%, but it's still the same price. So enjoy. So, well, their Keller beer has gone down. Their Keller beer used to be freaking awesome, and now it's kind of gross.
Their Keller beer was my favorite beer from them, followed by the Erbach. And those were my two beers from them that I really liked. And then I could get the lager, but I never really liked the Pilsner. But the Lot 9 is so much worse than the original Pilsner ever was.
No, it's bad. It's bad. No, it's unfortunately it's a brewery that's finally succumbed to its macro leanings. But it took a little while for it to happen.
I mean, they still do the Mad and Noisy lineup. The fucking Sonny and Cher and what was the IPL called? The IPL was
Nuts and Bolts.
Yeah, Nuts and Bolts. Those are actually nice beers too. I mean, the Sonny and Cher was a great saison. Their third one, I don't remember what the third one was, but I wasn't a big fan of that. But they still do the small batch brewing too to stay in the idea of we're kind of craft. Probably a lot what Mill Street's going to do. You'll see them still do their 6-packs and all that to stay craft oriented, but they're just going to slowly. I think at least not. I don't think they're going to change like everybody else thinks, but I think they're going to slowly go more and more mainstream. I don't even know if they're going to go into using corn and everything like some of the bought over breweries have done. But I think they're going to lower the hops a little bit here and there to go more mainstream.
I hope they stop making their barley wine every year, because I'm one of those stupid idiots that buys it because it has a fancy bottle, but it is the worst fucking barley wine ever.
Oh, I bought 2 beers tonight. The only 2 beers I haven't had in any of my LCBOs, and one was the Epic Brewing's Oatmeal Stout, which is a huge bottle for like $14. And then I thought it was a wine bottle at first until I looked at it just sitting on the fucking beer aisle, because it even has like a wine bottle label. And then the another one from Thornbridge. Thornbridge is smoked porters here now, and unlike the other Thornbridge beers, it's not a highly hopped IPA, so it actually doesn't matter if it's super fresh or not.
There you go. I haven't had anything from Thornbridge.
I haven't had anything from Thornbridge.
They're not the same as Thornberry, are they?
No, Thornberry is... Why was that open? Sorry, my phone just kept vibrating, so I turned it on, and there was a fucking map open. Somebody's hacking me right now. Oh no. Oh, here's something I wanted to talk about. Beer clubs. We've talked about beer clubs before and whether or not they're really worth the price. Now, after doing the brew box for as long as I have, I've gotten like 5 or 6 free brew boxes. I've paid for about 10 brew boxes. I've done a bunch of brew boxes now since they opened up, and you know what? It's $62. It is a little expensive when you look at only getting between 5 and 8 beers, but at the same time, they do seem to go for like 3 distinct geographical areas where you're getting beers that you can't get unless you go to the brewery. So in the end, it actually is a good value at the $62. Now, I also picked up for over Christmas, the Canadian Craft Club was all over Facebook advertising itself, and advertising itself as, we carry breweries such as The Brewery, Rodenbach, Anderson Valley, Victory Brewing, Driftwood. They had all these fairly big-named breweries on there. And they're like, you can buy a 2-pack, 4-pack, or a 6-pack. The 2-pack is 2 singles, the 4-pack is 2 doubles, and the 6-pack is 3 doubles. And the prices went $39 for the 2-pack, $59, I believe it was, for the 4-pack, or $100 for the 6-pack. Huge prices. And mattering where you were in Canada, your shipping was more. So mine ended up costing $50.20 to get sent here. It hasn't shown up here yet, but they let you get a sneak peek on the brews that come in the box right after they've sent it. And let me tell you, I am right now pissed off that I've spent $50 on these beers because I could get a six-pack of one of the beers and a 650 of the other beer for under $20 here in Ontario. They go onto their web page about talking about how they're super rare, hard to find beers that are mind-blowing, picked out by experts and this. If those are picked out by your experts and those experts think those are hard to find, super rare, mind-blowing beers, you need to fire all your fucking people. And then it came out because somebody asked them for a list of some of the things they've sent before. And they're like, oh, we just launched. Okay, so you don't sell beers like the brewery and shit. Your beers are Elysian, which isn't even fucking craft anymore because it's owned by Anheuser-Busch. They're sending Elysian, Immortal, and they're sending fucking Omegang Hennepin. That's what I paid $50 fucking for. A bottle of each of those.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
So you're hashtag Team Brewbox.
Yeah, when I actually open it on camera, I'll have some nice, fun things to say.
Now, could this just be sort of growing pains for sort of a newer company? Like, do you think they, still have opportunity to improve and all that?
I think it's full on bad business ethics and fucking cheating customers.
Oh.
They're based out of Calgary. They could have bought anything they wanted.
Okay, so it's not just a case of like, hey, this is a little guy, they're starting up. They just kind of have to get what they get for the time being until they make some money.
Just trying to scam people.
Yeah,
So
because these clubs are actually becoming big. They saw how much money people can charge for them. I'm sorry, I paid $12 more. I paid $12 more for the brew box to get a lot more beer and a lot harder to get beer for me.
Mm.
Like the package that just came, there was three beers from left field. EFIS you can get at most LCBOs, but the other two bottles you can only get from the brewery. There was two things from Collingwood, both you can only get from the brewery, and two from Bose. And, one will be available everywhere, and the other one's only at the brewery. So that's actually good value for me.
Yeah.
Now, to get a 750 of Elysian the Immortal, when I can buy a six-pack of it for $14, and to get a 650 of Omegang when I can buy a 650 of it for like $8, well, Omegang's Hennepin, for $50 just makes me want to punch somebody.
Yeah, and to be honest, though, none of these sort of brew box type businesses, no matter how good or bad they are, they're not designed for seasoned craft beer drinkers. They're designed for newbies. They're something you buy for your uncle at Christmas or something like that because he happens to like something other than fucking Molson, or even for clueless relatives. Oh, Uncle Artie likes beer. Let's get him the brew box for a year.
Well, I'm over 3,000 beers reviewed. The things I've gotten from the brew box, at the most I get one or two doubles each box. Mm-hmm. So it's actually helpful for me. I'm getting beers that I haven't had before that I have no way of getting unless I drive there. And a lot of times it's stuff that isn't in an area that I'm going to drive to. And I get some review beers. I mean, that box, usually I have 4 new beers to review every time I get the box.
No, and that's great that it works for you. I mean, you're in a unique position where that actually benefits you quite a bit. But I think in general, though, these things are designed for newbies and people who just haven't been doing craft beer for too long, and it's kind of a gimmicky thing that tries to bring in customers. I mean, I bet you the majority of their customer base are not people who are as into craft beer as you are and have been doing it as long as you have.
Like I said, I thought I'd take a chance. I thought I'd roll the dice on the Canadian Craft Club after reading their website that did not say that they had just launched. After reading their website and everything that talked about, we sell the brewery's beers, these beers. Really hard to find, expensive, mind-blowing beers that are picked out every month by experts. I thought I'd roll the dice. I'm like, okay, $50 if I get two $15 beers, whatever. It'll be intriguing to me because it's coming not from Ontario. It's doing beers from around the world. Maybe I'll get something cool that I haven't had. Let's just try it. And then that's what's coming. And I'm like, yeah, I'll never buy from you again. I'll never suggest you. Like, your prices are exorbitant, especially for now what I've seen you sending. Maybe months down the road you'll send a brewery beer and something from like Dark Horse or something. Maybe then. Maybe then, who knows? But as of right now, you're stealing money from people.
Yep.
I mean, even Brewbox's very first box had things in it that I could never find.
See, I'll tell you my biggest problem with Brewbox, and I mean, I know their prices are a little expensive, but I understand they have to ship all the shit and all that stuff. But I don't like it that they give you doubles of stuff. Like, if they're going to send you, 6 to 8 beers every month, I want 6 to 8 unique beers from them. I don't want doubles of something.
They have slowly stopped doing doubles. I mean, you'd see a lot more doubles at the beginning of the time they started this. Now they're actually starting to take people saying, let's not do doubles seriously.
Yeah, because you know what? People who are going to subscribe to this are probably people who are really into beer. They want to try stuff. And like you say, not everyone can get out and try everything. So, it's nice to be able to get shit that you can't normally get.
I would love if they could get, like, Man Antler and stuff like that involved, because those are breweries I will never see, and people always talk so highly of them. Like, Sleeping Giant does some really good beers. Man Antler does some great beers. The breweries on Manitoulin Island do some great beers. I'll never see those beers. So if they could get those involved, that would be great. I mean, unless you live in Toronto, the Brewbox is actually a really good idea.
Yeah, people who live in Toronto are assholes.
Yeah, they are. Especially ones that live in Etobicoke.
Those, they're the worst.
Yeah.
But, yeah, well, that's the thing, is that with Toronto, I mean, you never freaking run out of, like, unless you have unlimited money, like, there's just more brewery and more beer than most normal people can spend on their beer budget every month, because it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Like, every time I open up the internet, there's another brewery opening up out there. I'm amazed that Toronto has not had like too much saturation in beer.
Well, the funny thing is, there's hardly no new ones want to open up in Etobicoke, even though Etobicoke is relatively cheap rent compared to, like, opening up in downtown Toronto. But I think a lot of these breweries are going for the walking traffic, which you don't get in Etobicoke. You only get that sort of when you go into the core.
Yep. And when you go into the core of Toronto, that's when you get the hipsters and the new money lemmings and everything else, like Ewart talks about all the time.
Yeah.
The people that actually have huge expendable incomes that can go in and drop a few $100 and not care about it.
Well, it's not even they have huge expendable incomes. They choose to spend it on odd things. Like, you won't believe the amount of people in Bellwoods that don't have a car, but they'll just go and buy like $150 for the Bellwoods beer and just haul it on the TTC. It's like, well, okay, if that's how you want to spend your money. But then again, I guess if you're in Toronto, you don't necessarily need a car, so. A lot of it just comes down to priorities, where people want to spend their money. And in Toronto, you do have people that are willing to, forego other things and then spend a lot of money for really fancy, expensive restaurants and really fancy beer or wine or whatever there's their fancy.
There is so many breweries out there that I want to get my hands on stuff from, like Liberty Village, Blood Brothers. Reinhardt is still fairly new for me. Then there's Bellwoods. The fucking list just goes on. I know if the Duchette's watching this, he's like, Chad only named 4 breweries. But the numbers just keep growing all the time. Kensington is open, doing weird things now. Like, their cold-pressed coffee porter sounds intriguing.
It's slowly but surely, Chad. I'll go there, and then you'll be able to try some of their stuff. But
Burdock.
But
in the ale house.
Hey, you got 8 Burdock beers coming your way. So.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, there's just so many breweries out there now, and they all make good beer.
They are, and I mean,
Amsterdam, Great Lakes.
You don't have to worry about Amsterdam. They don't really. I mean, they make a lot of good stuff, but you got to go down to their brew pub to try it. Their bottled stuff is all meh.
And Great Lakes, you never know what they're going to do.
Oh, I'm excited for what Great Lakes is going to do. They already advertised, hey, we're almost at a Life Sentence IPA. What are we going to do to replace it? I'm like, I hope it's something good.
They never used to. All these breweries must be taking a little bit of sales away from them because they wouldn't have sat on life sentence this long normally.
They made a lot of it, though. That's the thing with Great Lakes is they make an awful lot of it.
No, I know they do, but I remember when I used to actually go there, like when I filmed my videos there and all that, they would fly through their new beers even when they made a lot of it. But that was before all these other breweries were open. Like you said, a lot of people don't have the expendable income to go to every single brewery and buy up everything new.
Well, I mean, I don't know if it has something to do with hops or something, but Karma Citra and Thrust seem to always sell out really quickly. Now, they seem to make that I don't do with availability because I mean, brewery. I think they're one of the best in Toronto, so I mean, they can make. They can make. I think they made a few hundred cases of life sentence, so maybe more. I have no idea, but all I know is they made a lot. But then again, maybe they made that using a lot easier to get hops than the Thrust or the Karma Citra. But like they have
Rust
crazy
in the
releases.
Karma Citra.
Well, I mean, they have crazy releases. Like when I went to what did they release? But yeah, they released Bring Out Your Dead at Bellwoods and Life Sentence IPA on the exact same day. I went to Bellwoods. I waited for about 10 minutes in line, maybe 15 minutes. I waited 45 minutes in line to get Life Sentence IPA. And then it turned out I didn't have to wait at all because they just had so much I could have bought it. Well, I could still go probably and buy some today if I'm not sure if they're sold out of it yet. So it was kind of ridiculous. But people line up at Great Lakes more so than they do at Bellwoods, which I absolutely find amazing.
If I remember correctly, Great Lakes is one of the first ones to start getting lineups for beer releases. Them in Amsterdam. Amsterdam's one of the first breweries I can remember in Ontario posting pictures of people lined up outside waiting.
Well, Amsterdam used to have lineups for like any of their adventure brews.
Well, it was Tempest that they had their like double Tempest, sorry, that I saw the first picture for.
Well, I think the original Tempest when it first came out, because keep in mind, I mean, the original Tempest came out I think 2011, and stouts like Imperial stouts in Ontario were still pretty rare back then. So I think like the regular Tempest would sell out within a day. And then any of their adventure brews, which some of them weren't all that exciting, they were like saisons and stuff, and those would sell out within a day too.
There were no lineups for KLB Raspberry Wheat?
No, that was all. Well, that's always been available since I've been a beer drinker.
And they're blonde? You're telling me there was no lineups for that?
No, shockingly not.
You are breaking my brain, sir.
However, you can get 25 of them for only $34, so there you go.
Goddamn, pal.
Actually, you know what? That beer is... I find that beer repulsive. There's just something about it. Like, I don't mind light beers. Like, you know, I think lagers have their place. But that beer just it has this gross taste to it that I just cannot deal with.
Come on. It's a good deal. It's got muscles, pal. Come on.
And, I mean, lineups are actually becoming a big thing now for new breweries. You'll see new breweries opening, and they'll post pictures of huge lines waiting to get in, and that's actually pretty awesome too to see people wanting to get in. And I mean, it's sad for me because you'll get to the brewery finally a few days later and they're sold out of everything, but it's awesome for the brewery to know that there is such a demand for them at first, and hopefully that demand will continue after they're open.
You see that in Halifax here all the time with like new breweries starting up. North Brewing, which was started up as Bridge Brewing, and now they're North Brewing, and they do pretty much exclusively like Belgian style stuff. Ever since they started up, they've been having like lineups outside their fucking brewery, and they've just been selling out of their beer. Like their batches are just going through batches all the time. So
see, sometimes I wonder if breweries do this purposely to build up hype, because the greatest way to sell your product is to tell people they can't get it, and people will then want it. So
well, it's true.
You know, I often wonder how much of these breweries just create artificial shortages just to get a name out for themselves.
Well, in the case of North Brewing, the shortages weren't artificial because they really are just like a fucking brew tank in a fucking closet kind of brewery, right? So I mean, the ability to even brew enough to support the local neighborhood is pretty limited.
Well, I mean, when Five Paddles first opened, they were always selling out too, but they were running on a one barrel system before they bought the old Railway City brew house.
Well, I mean, stuff in the GTA and in the U.S., of course, like big lineups for big beers is not that uncommon. But I think now you got guys outside of Toronto doing that. Like I think doesn't Railway City and I believe Sawdust City, I think they're kind of way out of Toronto. And now they're doing releases where I think they sell it within hours.
Railway City's always done their special release on a on their cask night, basically their growler night. They do a growler night once a month, and that's when they'll release their special beer. But now it's almost as if they're only making enough for each person at the growler night to buy 2 or 3 of them, and then they're sold out within that day. And then they can say, "We're sold out. Next time you must get here first." So I like you're saying, for them, I think they're doing it partially as an artificial rarity.
Yeah.
But Sawdust City makes some amazing beer, and yeah, they sell out pretty quickly on everything too.
We do have 2 comments here I should probably get to on the fucking...
2 comments? Are they both from Basement Beer Review?
No, one's from Basement and one's from Winter's Coming.
Oh, wow, they both can get through now.
Well, it's on the G Plus side of things.
Okay.
On YouTube. Winter's Coming says, "Cheers, guys, drinking Kentucky Bastard, and Until Proven Guilty tonight." What's Until Proven Guilty from?
That is Innocente's Russian Imperial Stout.
Oh, okay. Right on. And Beer Basement says, "Winter is coming. You have some nice stuff there." Well, that's not really a comment directed to us. Stop talking to other people. Only talk to us.
The Kentucky Bastard is barrel-aged. Do you have the barrel-aged Until Proven Guilty or the regular? Because you can't really compare them if one of them is regular and one of them is barrel-aged.
Oh, see. Goddamn.
No,
Goddamn, pal.
Winter's Coming was asking me earlier about doing more blind taste tests, and I'm like, I can do them, but I just have to be able to get the beers.
Isn't every taste test you do a blind taste test? I had to take that one. That
one of the things we talked about was doing a Russian Imperial Stout blind taste test, and I'm like, I could do it. I'd love to do it, but all I can get is Bolshevik Bastard. Like, I can't get a Long Dark Voyage to Uranus right now. I can't get. I'm gonna get a Long Dark Voyage to Uranus. You can't get that. I can't.
Were you just talking to your wife?
Yeah, I can't get Russian Gun right now. Like, I can't get anything but Bolshevik right now. And one second.
I think he's trying to negotiate a Long Dark Voyage to Uranus.
Had to go take a voyage to Uranus.
There's some lobbying going on here.
A wise man once said, "There ain't no party like a butthole party."
I'll do the laundry. I'll wear more pants.
I'll put on a rubber.
Yeah.
Rectum, damn near.
Oh, fuck.
I almost killed Lee there.
Yeah, I got this. I had a really bad cold. Now I have a lingering fucking cough. That's
lovely.
If you stop doing cocaine so much,
it's a problem. What can I say?
Cold goes away. You know?
I know, it was terrible. You made Daniel read the comments this week.
Oh yeah, well yeah. Outside of the editing portion of the thing, I started trying to read your comments, and I got about 2 sentences in, and then I just started hacking for like 5 minutes straight. I was like, "Daniel, would you mind reading these this time around?"
Yeah. A normal person would just give you a top 10 list, but I have to just fill it with all sorts of drivel for you to read. Yeah. So I'm nice like that.
No, but it was good though. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to your analysis of Unfriended, and we can all discuss why it's a good or not good movie. Because I thought it was a good movie.
Oh, I hate you.
Although I will say, I did rate it probably a little too high. It probably should have been towards the end of my list, but I still enjoyed it.
You're a fucking prick. Oh my god. Okay, here's a.
Actually, since Chad's gone, I watched Ex Machina. I don't know if it was you or Daniel or both of you that liked that movie.
Daniel, I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be interested to see what you have to think about it. I mean, I wasn't crazy about it, but I kind of thought it was a very interesting movie, and Spoilers, it does feature a lot of full frontal nudity, so.
Oh, what movie is this?
Ex Machina, or Machina, however you pronounce that.
Oh, Christy has a lot of people return that at work and tell her never to watch it. It's a horrible movie.
You know what? It's one of those movies I'm torn on because I didn't like it, but I still found it very interesting at the same time. But
It's got an actor I really like in it, Oscar Isaac or whatever the fuck his name is.
Well, it's basically got like a bunch of the actors from the new Star Wars movie in it.
Yeah. But I really like Oscar Isaacs. He's awesome. He's also in Drive. He was really good in that.
Oh yeah.
I've been watching a lot of sci-fi television shows the last few days, like from the Sci-Fi Channel. I watched the first season of Dark Matter, which I didn't actually mind. I watched some of the Expanse because the first 6 episodes are online, and that was okay too. I watched the first few episodes of the Shannara Chronicles. We talked about that last week, and that show pisses me off. Yeah, that's about all I've been watching right now. Yeah, nothing really.
I re-binge watched fucking Breaking Bad the last couple of weeks.
Nice.
That's a good series.
Loved it just as much as the first time I watched it.
It's quite solid. What's all you gentlemen? What is your favorite TV show of all time? If you had to pick one, I would argue, although it is flawed, and I don't know how much I loved the last episode, I would argue The Shield is probably the best TV series I've ever seen.
That's the cop one.
That was with Michael Chiklis before he started doing movies and stuff.
Homicide: Life on the Street. That's probably my favorite all-time series.
I've never seen that.
This is going to make
it was an NBC detective series set around a bunch of cops in Baltimore, and it was really well written. It had Richard Belzer's character that went on to do the Law and Order stuff later on. Same character, Detective Munch or whatever. He moved from that series to Law and Order, so they're kind of in the same universe to a certain degree. And it was just a great series. It was well written, had a bunch of great episodes, great actors, and it treated cops as real people with real problems, and I really liked it. It was more focused on the actual cops than it was the cases, so I liked it a lot.
What for you, Nicholas?
This is going to make me sound like a big nerd, but I, for most of my life, this has been one of my favorite TV shows. Star Trek: Next Generation.
Okay.
I don't even have to explain that one.
Honestly, I think it's a good choice. I mean, it's not all the episodes are golden, but overall,
of the Star Trek universe, I liked Deep Space Nine the most myself.
Yeah, same here, bitch. But Star Trek: Next Generation, after you get past the first couple seasons, was pretty fucking great.
Yeah, like around 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Best of Both Worlds came out.
See, myself as a casual fan, I've seen pretty much every episode of TNG. I've seen most of Deep Space Nine, probably about 3/4 of Voyager, and probably about half of Enterprise. My favorite is TNG, but my buddy, who is like a hardcore Star Trek nerd, he swears up and down that Deep Space Nine is the best series of Star Trek.
I love Deep Space Nine because
there is a lot of deep storytelling in DS9.
Yeah, and
it had better storytelling. It just seemed grittier. It wasn't as cookie cutter. It wasn't every episode. Oh, we found something new. Let's explore it. Oh, this happened. Oh, let's leave.
It was the flip side of the Gene Roddenberry shit, where everyone gets along and everyone's in harmony and all that shit. Like bullshit. That's not going to happen. Deep Space Nine actually dealt with different cultures clashing with each other at a focal point.
It was storytelling. Like it wasn't non-linear like the Next Generation seemed to be, where you didn't have to watch the episodes in order to really get it. Where Deep Space Nine was, linear. The story's being told and it's continuing. It's not. Hey, it's been months and now we're somewhere else. Or
it's more like space opera kind of thing.
Yeah, and I loved it a lot more because it was just it tackled religious and social and racial ideas and stuff between all the different races and factions and everything that were all sort of all sort of focused on the central point of the space station on the frontier of the Federation, and then it had the wormhole, which was a whole new quadrant opened up that was coming through traffic-wise.
And it had more.
Yeah, and the only thing that sucked about it was there was too many Ferengi episodes, because they almost always sucked. There was only maybe one really great Ferengi episode, which was the Magnificent Ferengi, which was pretty fun. But other than that, fuck the Ferengi. I hate the Ferengi.
I like the episode where they killed the Dominion leader and put all those control arms on him. Made him walk.
That's the one. The Magnificent.
Okay, that was the one. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Didn't they?
Iggy Pop was in that fucking episode. That was awesome.
Wasn't that the series where they redid the Tribble episode from the original Star Trek? Yeah, good old Tribbles.
What was the one there? They're crashed on a planet and in a Demodar fighter, and they're kind of under siege on the planet.
Yep.
Or what that? I'm trying to remember. That was a pretty good episode.
Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff. They dealt with like ground troops in war, like the effects of war on regular people and shit. It was pretty interesting.
It was great too to see that, to see like the Marines, the like Starfleet Marines instead of the actual officers and all that, just the regular grunts.
Mm-hmm. Although it was kind of weird that you didn't see them wearing any sort of body armor. It was like, oh, we're still wearing the regular Starfleet uniforms. It's like, that's kind of bullshit. You think they'd have some sort of phaser-resistant armor or some shit at that point, but whatever.
That was the uniform was phaser-resistant, you know.
Because even in some of the movies, I think they have kind of like body armor, don't they?
Well, Star Trek Enterprise, which was like the going back to the beginning, their Marines had body armor.
Yeah. So you think that would keep developing over time? It was like, okay, if we got shock troops like Marines that are going to be put right into the thick of things, fighting fucking Klingons and shit right on the ground, you want to give them some sort of fucking body armor. You don't have to wear the regular Starfleet uniform. Oh, and they happen to have a phaser rifle instead of a phaser. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Jesus Christ, that cat is evil. It's Blofeld's fucking cat.
If anyone wants to see what a $4,000 cat looks like, that's a $4,000 cat, which I did not pay for. My uncle did, and he didn't want it, and I got it for free.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous. But
put it on eBay! No.
I mean, it's cute as hell. It looks like a fucking toilet paper commercial cat, but...
that is Blofeld's fucking cat, man.
It is.
You could make toilet paper commercials.
Well, you know, my uncle just told me, hey, I've got a cat that it's not working out. We don't want it. Do you want it? I'm like, sure, I'll take it. And then I look up how much he actually paid for it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. This cat is worth more than anything else in my house.
It's a fucking cat.
I know, but it's a Persian, and it's like
it's a fucking cat.
It's like a purebred crazy cat, and now it's being attacked by my other poor cat that came from the Humane Society that cost me $100, and he's freaking attacking it all the time. Yeah. Well, some people, you know what? Anything that people
you don't even pay $4,000 for an English bulldog.
Yeah, I know. Like, trust me, it's crazy. I would never pay more than a few $100 for a cat from like a shelter or something. But this just came up, and I was like, okay, I'll take it. Because my uncle has he does pretty well for himself, and he's got a younger wife, and she decided she wanted a cat after never having a pet in her entire life. So they bought the most expensive cat you can pretty much get, and they bought tons of supplies for it, and they had it for 2 weeks and said, hey, we are not cat people. We don't want this cat. Do you want it for free? Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, that's what happens when you have a lot of money. You spend a lot of money and you waste a lot of money.
Yeah. See, I'm not the only one that gets talked to by his wife. Oh, I know that you're online. I don't care. I'm going to talk to you about things.
Movies.
You know, my phone keeps vibrating, and I must be getting text after text after text, or message after message after message. It's a good thing that I just have this window open and nothing else.
So, yeah. I'll give you an update on a really expensive cat. They apparently pee in the shower.
Well, I pee in the shower too. So that's okay.
Yeah, so do I, but at least it goes down the drain.
Yeah, cat pee seems
Someplace
to
they can
be
wash it
very
away.
sticky.
Yeah. So my
And
cat.
have you ever noticed that like cat pee doesn't seem to be like normal pee? That like even a dog's piss, it like foams out and puddles. Cat piss seems to be like sticky and stays there.
I don't know. For the most part, I've always had pretty good luck with cats peeing where they should pee in their litter box, but
Well, he's probably
I don't
pissed
know.
off because he's getting beaten up by your poor cat.
Yeah, well, she's very prissy. She's like a little princess, so that might be the case. So I say it's like she's like a fancy rich girl, and he's like this popper that's trying to literally trying to pop her because he's trying to hump her all the time. He's not fixed yet, but soon.
Like the female's not fixed yet.
No. The female's fixed. She already came fixed with all her shots, but he's
Okay,
not
so
fixed because he's too young to be fixed. He's only 3 months old, so we need to wait another month to fix him. So, and I'll look forward to it because I don't know if the camera will show this off, but he likes to bite.
Ouch.
Yeah.
is that the Persian or your poor cat?
No. That's my poor cat. The Persian she's like the most gentle creature in the world. Like she doesn't hurt a fly. But yeah, the poor cat is an asshole. There's a reason, I guess, they bred all the aggression out of her. But yeah, no, I mean, but you're right. Like, I mean, in terms of like, I'm more of a dog person than I am a cat person. Yeah, you can get like a really nice breed of dog for $4,000.
Well, for $4,000, I could have all 3 dogs I've ever wanted. I could have myself an Irish Wolfhound, a Scottish Deerhound, and an Irish Setter in this house for $4,000.
I'm a simpler man. I like my German Shepherds. I like my Rottweilers. I like my Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm a bigger fan of pussy. I mean, I like cats.
Well, they're tastier.
Aw. The barbecue sauce tends to complement the meat better, yeah. Look, rock. Especially with charcoal, you cook it with charcoal.
Well, that really brings out the smoky flavors. Speaking of eating dogs, hey,
That's me.
How are you?
It's me. I'm here. Hello.
Mr. Ewart.
Well,
Late for
Hello.
me.
It's
Shame.
me.
well, now I can finally stop playing with myself and release.
There you go. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing at all, sir. What are you drinking tonight?
Jacobs Creek 2013 Shiraz Cabernet.
Ooh, fancy.
Good shirt.
This is actually an empty bottle of Wood Shark. I am going to have to find something else to drink in just a second.
Ditto.
So what's the good word, guys? What'd I miss?
Well, we were having a brew box discussion.
Yeah, we talked about beer clubs,
Uh-huh.
and I was talking about what I get out of the brew box for the $62 I spend, and what I'm supposed to be getting because they give you a sneak peek after they mail it from the $51 I spent for the Canadian Craft Club.
You're saying you think Pekin is not matching that?
The sneak peeking is not matching up to $51 at all, no.
Oh.
So my $62 box, if you watch the unboxing, I got 3 bottles of beer. I got 3 bottles of beer from left field. 2 of them you'd have to get from the brewery, so okay. I got 2 bottles from Collingwoods. You'd have to get them both from the brewery, and 2 from Bose. One would be an LCBO release, one was a brewery-only release. Awesome. Good little box for me. $62, saves on the driving to the breweries and all that. Okay, great. Now, the $51 box only has 2 beers in it, but they advertise themselves as selling mind-blowing, amazing, rare, hard-to-find beers. They're sending me a bottle of Elysian's Immortal and a bottle of Omegang Hennepin for $51.
Yikes. Yep. Did you quit that club?
I only did a 1-month membership.
Oh,
But I'm like, you know what? I'll try it. Whatever. I have Christmas money, $51 for some rare, hard-to-find beer that could be from anywhere in the world because they're from Calgary. Okay, let's do it. Let's see what I get.
wow.
Now I wish I hadn't done it.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think if they're trying to retain people on, they get signing up for 1 month. Oh, we want to get them signed up for more. That's how you're gonna blow them away. Yikes! But hey, maybe they thought they're sending it to a plebe.
Yeah,
I sort of speculated the same thing to him, that basically these clubs are designed for newbies who don't know any better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh well, the brew box one actually did look promising, and I like the idea of getting stuff at breweries that are out of the way.
Yeah.
Basically, they do all the travel, which is like, oh, that's worth its time right there. So.
Yep. And those guys actually seem to love beer and want to put together a box that you're going to enjoy. Where
Right.
these guys at the Canadian Craft Club seem to be like a lot of the other mail order ones. They're just like, hey, we can make money on this.
Exactly. We'll just send you something out of your distro. You should be happy with that.
I'm not getting anything out of my distro.
What do you mean? Elysian?
Well, Elysian the Immortal has been sold here at the LCBO in 6-packs for a while.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't go there too often.
And Omegang Hennepin has been here off and on a few times over the last little while.
You know what? You're right. It was here a couple of years ago. I remember that. Yep. Oh, well.
I'm just agitated at that. I took a gamble. I know not to do it again. Whatever. And I'll talk about it when I open it up. I hear that their packaging is really good. There's just things that I found out afterwards that bothered me too. Like somebody was like, "Hey, I'm in Montreal. I'd love to get into your club. You talk about being, selling the brewery and everything else, beers. Can you tell me some of the things you've sent in your other packages so I can decide if I want to pay the $100 plus shipping for the 6-pack?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we just launched in December." Okay, so you don't fucking sell the brewery beers or anything else, you fucking lying pieces of shit.
Yeah, it's deceptive. Deceptive bullshit. It's like they bottled the beer that was sour and tried to call it a sour.
Hello. Where's our sound effects? Let me call it up. Yeah, well,
I had to get the obligatory dark horse shot in there.
I know. I'll never live it down. But at least I shared it amongst my friends as opposed to drinking it solo.
You shared the hatred with everybody, which I appreciate.
Hey, if I got to go down, y'all going down with me.
Well, that's a good way to think about it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's why bottle shares are great. If you can go in and say, hey, I don't know if this is going to be great or not, or if it's just a really massive beer, like I can't drink this, bomber 20% beer by myself, they're good for that. So lots of guinea
I don't
pigs.
recall you were warning any of us ahead of time.
Wait,
No, he had that little smirk on his face.
I didn't know if it was going to be bad.
Guys.
He's always got that smirk on his face, though. That's like his natural fucking face. It's like his stroke face. He had a stroke or something.
I was in a good mood at work last night. I know that's weird, but I'm sitting there and I was talking to one of the servers, and I had a smile on my face, and she goes, "What have you done?" I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Why are you smirking?" "I'm not smirking." "What have you done? What did you do to my cart? Where's my stuff?" I didn't do anything.
It's like, smoke another one. Jeez, he's paranoid.
Yeah. Either that or you're a massive asshole who really fucks with people, and they just
I do fuck with people.
Well, there you go. Why are you surprised then?
When I worked at the old place of business, at the one that's further away from my house, I hid one of the server's beverage carts so well that it took her 2 hours to find it. She was walking around the place of business for 2 hours trying to find her beverage cart.
That's mean.
I thought it was hysterical.
And if she had asked you to help her find it, it would have been really bad because you're blind. So.
Well, she did ask me, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm blind, I can't find it.
There you go.
Yeah. So I saw it for a minute. I had it for a minute, and I forgot because I couldn't see where I left it. So yes, I'm guilty.
I just pushed it out in the snowbank and
Disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh, so what else is going on, fellas? Anything else? Any good news? on the
No, there
Canadian
was
beer front?
actually no news really this week. There was nothing other than Steam Whistle ended up getting an injunction on the Alberta beer
Yeah.
tax. That's about it.
Oh, leave it to the steam whistle. It's like he's just like you want to like clap for whatever brewery did, but then it's steam whistle. Like God.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like I'm usually in favor of this stuff, but anything that keeps steam whistle out of other provinces, I'm in favor of.
It's gonna look really weird when I'm lobbying to have an injunction against steam whistle being sold in Ontario. You know.
I would support that injunction.
Oh well. Hey, on the this you might find interesting, Chad. Motor Craft Ales. You've heard that name, right?
Yep.
I popped in on the way home today and just out of curiosity because they started selling bottles to go, and I'd been in there to eat with friends or in the past, and they've had a bottle they couldn't sell because they didn't have a license, and they're finally come around to doing that. And I think I made mention of they're actually trying to have a club where you get like a certain amount of beer per year, and it actually works out dollar for dollar. You're not really saving anything by doing it, so except for the fact that they have like they had a black double IPA that they were selling for a year as part of their package. You know, like they'll have special bottles that they release, and they'll exclude everybody else unless you're a member. But I don't know. Either way, so I popped in. I talked to the owner, and he just asked me where I heard that they were selling bottles. Because they want to make sure the social media presence is working. I told him. He asked, where I was from. I said I live in, outside of, I told him where I was from, and the town next over, LaSalle, and he lived there too. And he said, "Oh, you drove all the way here for that?" I said, "No, I'm just coming home from work." Told him where I work, and then we started talking about, bottling, because that's what I work in a bottling hall. And so he said, "Oh, you got to check out my filler that I built." So next thing you know, we're like down in the basement, all bottling. He's actually got a nice setup. It's really organized stuff for a tiny space, but it's like he compared it to Breaking Bad. And that's what it's basically like. He's got his tiny little setup down there. It's
So is it making meth?
He might be. They didn't see that. I didn't see that setup. I saw a brewing setup, but it's interesting. Like the low ceilings, but it's very organized. And he had to be because it's so small down there and compact. But talked about hanging out with the Coonan guys and scaling up and all this stuff. I'm like, whoa. I'm just in my head like they're trying to grow real fast, and yet they're just starting to sell bottles for the first time. It's ambitious, and I'm excited. I bought a couple to try. So. Ones I hadn't already had before on tap. So it was interesting little discussion. And I didn't want to say, oh yeah, remember that time you guys went to tried co-hosting a beer festival, couldn't serve beer. I didn't want to bring that up really. So they're obviously learning, but yeah, it was good. So if it's good, I'll if anybody's interested,
Oh well, you know me, I'm always interested.
Yeah, I'll notify the Brewbox guys to come on down.
I would love,
one from Calgary
earlier. I would love them to get involved with a lot of the different breweries out there that I will never see beer from. Like, I would love for them to get involved with like Man Antler. I've heard great things about them. I'd love to try their beer, but it'll never happen unless I find somebody that lives there to send it to me. So I'd love the Brewbox to talk to them about getting in. Stuff like a lot of the Northern Ontario breweries. It would be great to get them involved.
I think a man antler is a penis.
It is, but it's also a brewery.
Is that what that is? Oh man, that's almost as bad as hoof hearted in Ohio.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Very clever.
You should get Brewbox to get some Coonahan beers.
Well, see, that's not an Ontario brewery.
Well, if you ask Ewart, it kind of is.
No, if we ask you, it kind of is.
Okay, we have a couple comments here. Winter's Coming says barrel aged until proven guilty. Of course, never had the non-barrel aged. Winter's Coming. And Beer Basement says he'd like to try and join, but he has no freaking idea how.
Do you have?
I have a chart. I can show you how.
Yeah, you almost.
Are you gonna draw a penis on your chart?
No, something far worse. So you start here.
You need a Google Plus account, and you need something that has a webcam or webcam capabilities, or at least a microphone. Because you don't necessarily need a webcam, as you see. It's Ewart's little logo flashing.
Yeah, that's not actually what Ewart looks like. I mean, he's old. He's old. He's old, but he's like a couple years younger than that.
Yeah, a couple.
I'm looking pretty spry, Rock.
He's my inspiration.
Get in there, Rock. Fight.
I
What's
believe
a
it.
body, Rock?
I should really have the Clint Eastwood one where he's from what's that movie? Yeah, Get Off My Line. It's a great movie.
Oh, Gran Torino.
Yeah. Love that movie, and little special place in my heart. They filmed a lot of that, and it's based on the area where when I worked in Detroit, the plant that was in Hamtramck, Michigan, which is like a little Polish village, just like that, exactly like that. It made me chuckle because I can imagine seeing him on a porch driving by on the way to the plant in the little neighborhood there. So
Get off my lawn, dragon lady. You and your knit friends, get off my lawn.
oh yeah, I forgot about that part. Thanks. I'm not going to use that avatar.
Oh, casual racism.
Oh, come on. That was the
Not.
best. That scene where he brought him into the barber shop where they just basically went through every racial epithet they could think of. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that's what I love about old people. Is they're the last frontier of just casual racism, of just not giving a shit what they say.
Yeah.
Well, I think a new frontier is coming. It's the uprisings in Alberta. But
Oh, shots fired.
what do you mean? I'm talking about the Canadian Beer Club thing, of course.
Oh, of course.
Canadian Craft Club or whatever.
I'm sorry to have implied otherwise.
You know what? I am so angry with myself for even trying it. But
I'm
at the
angry
same time,
at
you
you
never
as
know.
well.
You never
I'm
know
very
what
angry.
you get unless you do
But
it.
is it like a 1-month membership, or did you have to subscribe
Yeah,
for multiple
it
months?
was only a 1 month that I did, and I will only do them to try them out if it's a 1 month. Like, there's a couple of them that are like 3 months only, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not paying you for 3 months in case your shit is garbage. But
See, I'm very angry and disappointed with you, Chad, because I don't know how to break it to people here. I mean, this is real talk, guys. Real talk. I'm just going to put down right now. Chad,
Oh, boy.
you are my hero.
Oh
Up to
no!
you. You are a beacon of morality and justice, and the fact that you would lower yourself to that degree is just shattered my faith in all things good. And
Oh no!
I'm just going to be a cynical asshole now for the rest of my life, and I don't know.
Oh my God!
You're-
That's so unlike him.
this
He's never
smells
been
like a
cynical.
condom.
It's really your fault, man. God damn!
I should have saved the condom cider for you.
Fuck, I don't know where to go anymore, guys.
You've ruined Lee's life, Chad. I hope you're happy.
I am actually.
I'm just gonna have to drink lots of beer now.
Pussy liberal.
Oh, it's a crying baby again.
I'll be honest. I don't know what brand of condoms you use, but I've never smelled a beer that smells like a condom.
What are you talking about?
This
But
smells
I'm-
like a condom. Spirit Tree draft cider smells like a condom.
Does it
Can I-
smell like a flavored condom?
No, just like latex rubber.
Latex rubber, no spermicide, no
no spermicide.
bitches.
That was the problem we did when we had the cartoon Taste with Condom after the cider. It was an apple spermicide on the condom.
Christ.
Was it like a fresh condom or a used condom?
No, we opened up an apple flavored spermicide coated condom.
Oh, okay.
Why would you put apple flavored spermicide on a condom?
That makes it smell better. You never know that you're.
See, I've never understood why flavored condoms exist. Because has anyone ever had to put on a condom for a blowjob?
Yeah,
that's my
like,
question.
Is your girlfriend really that uptight? Like, is she really that like? She already knows you stink
Well,
and you smell like.
maybe you want protection in case of teeth.
No, come on.
I don't think latex would help
that's
with
gonna
teeth.
that's gonna protect you from teeth. If she wants to bite down, you're fucked. Whether you have a condom on or not.
How are we even talking about this? It went from the smell of a condom to.
You
Oh my
started
God.
it. That's how
I
it
didn't
fucking
start
came to
this. I just said that it smelled like a condom.
Therefore, you started it.
It's bullshit. Flavored spermicide is the dumbest thing
You
ever.
know, for the first time ever, I think Ewart is actually the smartest man in the room.
No, you're the dumbest man in the room, and everyone else is degrees of smart. Fucking flavored spermicide is bullshit. Like, what is the point? Oh, I'm gonna suck all the spermicide off this condom. Now this condom is rendered useless.
And then stick it in me when you're ready.
Yeah, stick it in me now that I've sucked all the apple flavored spermicide off this condom. What the fuck?
Well, maybe it's for like people who are really uneducated, like that think you can, like, a baby comes from the belly, therefore if you swallow sperm you can get pregnant. So they figure, well, I'll suck down on the spermicide, I'll take care of that sperm in my stomach.
Yeah, why put a condom on if you're getting a blowjob? Why not just stick your dick in a fucking apple pudding pop cup or whatever and then go at it?
What the fuck is an apple pudding pop cup?
I don't know. Whatever flavored fucking Jello bullshit pudding cup.
It sounds like something Bill Cosby would use to rape somebody.
Pudding pop, apple flavored pudding pop, stick it in your mouth.
You
It's a
both
roofie
know that
flavored.
we're online still, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still. Well, I think we now acknowledge that it's devolved to the point where this stuff is going to happen online live. Yeah, I mean, Bill Cosby, put a roofie in your drink and then put the fucking flavored pudding pop on the condom and drink it down. Pudding pop.
Well, hi, Ewart. How are you?
Hello?
Hi. Fucking idiot.
Yeah, you're the mature adult now. Yeah, right.
Okay, and we're back. Welcome to BDU, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, that was filming the whole time? Ah!
That's the worst part. The fact that Ewart is the most mature adult in the room.
Sorry, I just fell asleep there for a second.
Well,
Guys, what were we talking about?
I was gonna say he's also the oldest by like 10 years. So come on.
I don't
Got
think it's
age
quite
on
that
this
bad.
side.
I don't think it's that bad. I tell you, I feel at least 30 years older. Especially after our last conversation.
Well, that's because you have kids. They wear you out.
Yeah, that's true.
We had to take my kids to the dentist today.
Oh, how do your kids like the dentist, or do they hate it?
Well, my daughter took the chair ride for the first time today. So she laid back, they counted her teeth and all that. She seemed okay until the actual dentist came in, then she didn't want to lay in the chair again. But she didn't actually have an appointment, it was just the testing to see how she'd do. So it was okay. My son had a bunch of teeth problems back in May that ended up taking both of our benefits plus an extra $1,000 to take care of.
Oh,
Like I get $3,000 a year and she gets $1,000, so that was $4,000 plus another $1,000 on top of it. So he had $5,000 worth of work in one day on his mouth.
Jesus Christ!
And they're looking at his mouth, going, "What dentist did the work?" We're like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, half of his fillings have fallen out." Oh, good. That was done in May or June. That's awesome.
Jesus Christ! You should file a lawsuit against your last dentist.
Yeah, I'm agitated with that, especially because I don't know how it's gonna go.
I was gonna say, was that just like to fix his fillings, or because that like $5,000? That's like
Well,
enough
he
to
had
set him up
to-
with like braces and all that shit.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
Well, no, it was $1,000 was anesthesia because he was so young he had to be put under to do all the work.
Oh,
fuck.
shit.
And that's not covered because it's not covered.
Yeah.
So it was that plus he had soft teeth and nobody knew he had soft teeth until that time. So his adult teeth they say will grow in fine, but he has soft teeth right now. So he had a whole bunch of teeth that had to be pulled or crowned and stuff like that. And feel bad for
man.
the kid, but then
Yeah, that sucks.
the fact that some of them have already fallen out like 7 months later pisses me off and makes me want to punch the dentist in the mouth.
Yeah, really, that's
Yeah.
shoddy bullshit work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I
Fuck,
guess at least if they're baby teeth, I mean, it's not the end of the world because
Yeah, but
they'll
still,
fix themselves in a couple of years. But
Yeah.
yeah.
still all the pain and the money. That fucking sucks, man. I just think about how fucking lucky I was as a kid with MSI and all that shit. Where it's just like, yeah, everything's fucking covered. It doesn't matter. Someone could punch all your fucking teeth out. It's covered. You know, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, I had ODSP coverage for most of my growing up life, which was good because albinos have a lot of teeth problems. For anyone that doesn't know, we don't have any enamel. We have other problems too. So, like when I was young, most of my baby teeth were growing in, already rotting because there was no enamel on them. So they were getting bacteria while they were still in the gums. So I grew up for a good portion of my life with no front teeth at all. It was awesome.
Let me ask you: is there any benefit to being an albino? Like, are there any plus sides to it?
I'll never go gray.
And you make a great nightlight.
Yeah.
All right, well, never go gray something, because I'm going gray and it makes me look
I glow under a black light.
And you would, if you ever lose your job, at least you can fall back on being a fucking Christmas Santa Claus for your store.
Yep.
So
That's a lucrative business right there, man. Santa Clauses.
So
Or you can do, or with my little shitty fucking non-Photoshop editing from a year or so ago, you could always be a Mugato fucking cosplay player for original Star Trek.
Yep.
But it's not one of those things where it's like, hey, I'm blind, my teeth kind of suck, but I've got like a 18-inch penis.
No.
Oh.
Is it not even 18 inches thick?
No, it's not 18 inches thick.
Of course it's 18 inches thick. Like, everyone's is 18 inches thick. Like, come on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, pal. Goddamn.
Even Asians have ones that big. Oh, sorry. Racism, I apologize.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, racism.
Actually, I'll be honest. From going to the gym, and I know I'm live, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but I'll tell you, from going to the gym, all the racism about penises, it's completely true. I have seen fucking black guys at the gym that have dicks down to their knees, and I have seen Asian guys that freaking have dicks smaller than their pubic hair. So all those stereotypes, they're true, at least based on
And you know, the thing is like how do the black guys who have small penises feel about themselves, and how do the Asian dudes who have massive penises think?
Yeah, that have the huge way.
They're like, what? They're like fucking Wayne's World there.
No, they're just like, fuck it, I've just defeated genetics.
Yeah, zang.
See, Google Plus, this is what you've done to my show. You destroyed comments, and this is what you've done.
Yeah, and I mean, we have no J Terrio to monitor our moral, values. So we're just sliding.
I can take the place of Jay if you'd like.
No, you really couldn't.
Please do. I need somebody to keep me in line and tell me what's right and wrong.
First thing you need to do is get like a massive fucking cowlick in your fucking hair. You need to squint, and you need to look like a fucking hillbilly.
Are you making fun of me? I'm squinting all the time.
No, I'm saying, do you have a massive cowlick in your hair, and do you?
I mean, I must be extremely drunk in every review I do if my eyes aren't open.
Well, that's true. But are you a suppressed racist?
I hate all those
or perhaps just a regular racist.
Or a regular one. Yeah.
See, I'm the biggest racist against Polacks. I'm Polish, in case you don't know that. Because I fucking hate Polacks. They are the worst people.
Self-loathing Polak.
I am self-loathing. Polacks are the worst people in the world.
It's great. It's great.
So.
But by the way, since we're just like going totally offensive and we're just going to ruin fucking BeerTube, I'm sad to say that, Beer Sampling of Dave is still alive.
Oh, is he? I heard he died last week or something.
No, he didn't die, apparently. It's too bad.
It was actually kind of interesting because we had said, did the guy die? He hasn't posted anything in like 2 weeks. And like 6 hours later, he was posting on the internet again.
My friends, indeed, Dweebs.
Friends.
Sorry.
And I'm not saying like he was watching us or anything. There's no conspiracy like that. I'm just like, oh my god, it's just so random that we had just brought it up. What's happened to this guy? And bang, look at my breakfast.
Well, of course he wasn't watching us because he's so far up his own fucking ass he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else but himself.
Hey, is there going to be any more hop whiskeys there, Ewart?
Yeah, tell us all the secrets of Weisers.
Why would you say there's not going to be any more?
Just asking if there's going to be any different ones or if it's all going to be that one.
No, there could. I mean, there's always talk.
Weiser's dark hopped.
Yeah, exactly. I honestly, there's a lot of us internally that are rooting for a new variant, just to, for not to give up on it. But of course, like anything else, it's something new, something different. The launch goes out, you fill the pipeline, and it doesn't take off as you expected, or you, for whatever reason, creates some confusion. But we've tasted better recipes than what's out there. They're more preferable to what we thought it was going to be like. So hopefully those come back around and they try to and they do another version, maybe like with a green label instead of red. So reminds you of beer. I don't know.
I just want to try it before it, disappears.
It's out there. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
not
make
here
more of
yet.
it. We're gonna make more of it.
Like I said, Lee, maybe we can fly you here in May.
Maybe.
If New Leaf ends up getting its license back.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Chad. If you can get a plane, I will fly Lee over.
Wait, no.
I-
What? Are you going to be flying the
Nice.
plane? What's
Yeah, I will fly the plane. I do not have a pilot license, nor have I ever flown a plane, but I will fly you over. I've done it in video games. It can't be that hard.
If you okay, well, here's the thing. I don't think you're a certified pilot, but, and this is a big but, if you could stock the plane with naked stewardesses who are hot,
Redheaded.
then I would take the risk.
See, here's the catch. I can stock it with naked stewardesses, not that they're necessarily hot, because I only have so much budget, and, naked stewardess, not that expensive. Naked hot stewardesses, that starts to get pricey.
If I wouldn't kick them out of the bed for eating crackers, that's about the level.
Well, here's the thing. Would you kick them out of bed for eating crackers after, say, I don't know, drinking a 12-pack?
Actually, that's actually a sort of a preferred thing for a woman. If she can go through a 12-pack, then yeah.
No, I mean you drink the 12-pack so you don't know what she looks like.
Oh, well, that's even better. That works even better.
I mean, we can certainly put some red paint in her hair, if that helps you out at all.
No, that doesn't work. It has to be a legit redhead.
Are there any comments?
Chad, what have you done? You've just led us astray this week.
I don't know what's happened. Usually you guys are more reserved than this.
Well, usually I'm not on here and actually drinking, so.
Yeah.
And we do have Joe to guide us in the right direction.
And Joe's not here.
I know.
Joe's not here, man.
You were sitting at his house thinking about how much he hates everybody.
Well,
And I'm,
that's true.
and
No,
I'm
that's
kind of
not-
pissed
that's not
off at the
true.
world.
That's not
Probably-
true. I
probably
don't hate
like-
anyone.
Oh, he's here. I was going to say, you probably left when Greg started talking about an Asian penis.
I just stopped listening.
I'm listening.
Beer Basement says, I need a link to join, and I can be Terrio.
Ah.
That's, you just negated your first fucking comment there, sir. Don't be Terrio, just be yourself.
Can we post a link to join on the comments, or is that closed this week?
Well, now that yours here, it is actually closed, but,
And didn't Winters Coming want an invite, or was that somebody else?
no, he didn't say he wanted one. It was just Beer Basement. It was just Beer
okay.
Basement.
Is that guy still doing his channel? I haven't checked in on him in a while.
Which one? Winter's Coming?
Yeah.
I've seen a few videos from him. Not
He
all that many.
hasn't posted a video for a few months, and I actually liked his videos. He's got a very, and this is one of those no homo things. He's got a very nice voice. It's very calming. It's very relaxing. I like watching his videos, and they make me happy.
Dulcet tones?
Wildly masturbate.
There's no masturbation involved. Nick, please don't take this to the next level.
Does he have a soothing voice like the ASMR people?
Well, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. It's like one of those things you just kind of relax, sit back, and you're like, hey, this feels really nice on my brain.
I did a homebrew review, one of Devin and his brother's homebrews, as an ASMR thing, and it was all because somebody told me I should do them. So I did the for through the entire thing, and it was Devin that actually responded to me first. Like, that was the most creepy thing I've ever watched.
2014 bottle conditioned vintage ale.
Fullers.
I think we get Fuller's vintage ale at LCBO, though I don't usually buy it because it's kind of pricey for what it is. It's like I think it's like it's like $10 for like a 350 milliliter bottle or something.
Well, I was sitting on 3 bottles of the 2014, so I figured I'd have one.
Hmm.
I think they were like $8 a pop when they came out. But we didn't get to 2015. We last time we got one was 2014. And I picked up two, and then my friend Sean gave me a 2013 and 2014 for this Christmas as a Christmas present. So screw it, I don't need to keep three of them.
Have any of you guys drank anything from Epic Brewing?
I don't think so.
Epic. Big Bad Baptist?
I don't know. I walked into the LCBO today, and there was an Epic Brewing Imperial Oatmeal Stout.
Unless there's a different Epic Brewing, which there could be.
It was a $14, $7.50 oatmeal stout. Ah! So, everybody see Guy's posters? Anybody have anything to say about them? Are they good? I liked them.
They look pretty cool.
I held Reinhardt off the poster because they did all the paperwork. They haven't paid me yet, but they started ghosting me after doing all the paperwork. So I didn't add them to the poster because I have a feeling that they're not going to be showing up to the festival.
Why would you say that?
Because they're ghosting me.
Who's ghosting you?
Reinhardt Brewing.
What does that mean?
It means that I've emailed and called them about 16 times in the last week, and they haven't answered any of my phone calls or emails.
So I guess they're not coming.
Yep.
Welcome, move on. You got people trying to get into your beer fest. They don't want to fucking answer.
Yeah, Brock's getting on the spot.
I guess Reinhardt is kind of raining soft all of a sudden. Kind of pussies. Reinhardt. We're kind of pussies. The brewery is probably built on pedophilia and racism.
My God, you are drunk as hell tonight.
No, this is my second beer.
Oh.
It's natural.
Yeah, it's official statement right now from EDU. Reinhardt Brewing, built on pedophilia and racism.
Chad, the oatmeal stout you had, I have had that. That's the Epicurean coffee and big oatmeal stout?
Yes.
Okay, I have had that. I had it actually on New Year's Eve. Went to Dean's place, and his buddy brought it over. It wasn't that. I had to look at my nose, but it wasn't wowed or anything by it, but it wasn't terrible.
That's the first time I've ever seen Epic Brewing. That's the reason why I was asking if anyone's ever had anything by them.
I think they're out of Australia or New Zealand or something.
Possibly. I didn't really read the bottle. I just picked it up because I haven't had it. I had $20 to spend, and there was 2 bottles of beer I haven't had, which cost me $20. So I picked them both up. I should have my posters in hand tomorrow. I have them being printed at Staples. I'm actually cheaping out this year. Usually I put it on like poster board, or I print it out on actual poster paper, and it costs a lot. This year I actually I'm doing them all on just paper stock, so they cost like $1 each instead. But good paper stock, like card stock, but they cost $1 each instead of $18 each. They're not going to look quite as good, but I could print out like 150 of them for the same price as 10 posters. So we should be able to get them all over the place. Oh look, Jamie's here. He's just not saying anything. He's a glowing head.
Test.
Oh, we hear him. Oh God. As long as he's not drawing a penis thing right now, we're okay.
No chart.
No chart? Oh, that's
Oh, you've got a camera.
I was hoping for a chart, to be honest with you.
No. Not today. Not after the bashing I took last week.
I liked the chart. I thought it was funny.
I happily took the bashing, though. It was funny. It was hilarious.
Don't show off your boobies on camera, but you don't let me.
Don't show your boots. Does he realize he can turn off his mic? For his sake, I'll do that for him. I'm glad that you don't want. I'm glad that you don't want Agnes to show her boobies on camera. But maybe next time you should mute yourself.
No, I don't mind if she shows them on camera. She doesn't want to show them on camera.
Well, it's the smart thing since I lose my channel.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't really make sense. I can show my boobies on camera, but nobody else can.
Well, I don't know. It really isn't fair. That's why I'm a big fan of the whole Free the Nipple campaign, because you know what? Women should be allowed to show their boobies as much as they want, and I should be allowed to look at their boobies and masturbate to them as much as I want.
Yeah, but if you do that, you're a misogynist.
Well, I think I've crossed that road a long time ago.
I thought I brought in two people to help control you two.
They post all these provocative images all over the media and nobody bats an eye, but I whip it out in public and start wanking. Everybody loses their mind.
Local man in St. John shows his filthy public.
You've been quiet for like 35 minutes, and all of a sudden
You bring up masturbation, and Nick's right there.
Well, it's always the quiet ones you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, I commented on Greg's use of Asian penis earlier. And the reason why yours disappeared.
He's just
what I just missed. I was just what's going on?
I'm just over here in the peanut gallery, so while watching you guys talk. So
you just missed the best comment of the night.
Hi, Ewart. How are you?
Good, good.
Why are you reaching out to Ewart like he's some bridge of sanity for you at this point?
What are you talking about? I am the oracle of this nonsense.
Does Jamie not have an awesome sign behind him? I think the Labatt 50 sign is pretty awesome.
I've also got my Therio costume on for Lee.
I will say I had a Labatt 50 not too long ago. I went to a Dweebs game when I was in town for business. I think it was last summer. And the selection of beer was so poor, I said, I'm just going to go for the shittiest shit that I know. Labatt 50.
I did not realize that he was wearing a Louisiana hat.
Wait till Lee's back. Yeah, the 50 was my dad's beer.
Yeah.
So that was the beer.
My dad's was blue.
Yeah, it was the beer I stole when I was underage.
Christy's dad's beer is Lucky Lager.
My dad's was
else you can get cheap.
My dad's was something way back in the day because he's an alcoholic and hasn't touched alcohol in about 20 years or so. Although he still makes fun of me at every chance he gets to tell me I'm a pussy when it comes to drinking.
You pussy.
I'll tell him, hey, you know what? Yesterday I got really drunk with my friends. I had a quarter of a bottle of vodka. He'll be like, oh, fuck you. I would have drank the whole bottle.
Back in my day, mouthwash had alcohol in it.
Greg, I've seen you drink, and I can confirm he is correct.
But is he like Joe, where his dad has to hold his hair out of the toilet?
Here's the big twist of this episode is that you are my father.
Oh, Jesus
I
Christ.
knew it.
You're old enough, so there you go.
You look just like my left testicle.
It kind of stings a little bit. Is that what you're saying?
No, I hang down a little bit more than the other one.
Oh, you might be cancerous.
Round and fuzzy.
That's
What
the
are
one
you
you have to
drinking there,
watch.
Gregory?
What's that?
What are you drinking?
I am having another can of Life Sentence IPA, a good old 10% light beer, which is not infecting me in any way whatsoever.
Wait, did they actually say in the can that's a light beer?
No, they say it's an extra strong beer, but I think they're lying.
Oh.
And I also had a 9% Witch Shark, so at this point, anything...
It says 10%. You think it is actually 4 and they're just lying to you?
Oh, Jesus. Come
Possibly.
on, Marty Fowler. Fuck off.
Here's the thing, is that I think anything I say at this point cannot be legally held against me.
except unless it's boobies.
What are you drinking over there, Jamie?
Can you see that?
Roy's having a growler of something. Grand River Brewing.
Grand River.
Okay.
Does it taste like butter?
It's actually not bad. I went there and picked up a growler, but tried out a couple of the pints that they had on tap, and it was they had a really good selection. It was just after a brew night, so they had a full chart of different things. So this is what is it? Ghent, called Ghent Me to London, a London Porter. Pretty good. Just a one-off.
Yeah, I hear they're getting better. That their beers are less and less buttery as they go along.
Yeah, I went there after last week. Someone posted a comment that I couldn't be 20 minutes or 15 minutes from Minnesota and 15 minutes from Grand River, but I had said that it was from my work actually, so it's close by, but I've never gone there because it's the opposite way. It's completely out of the way. So I just decided to try it out. It's a pretty cool brewery actually.
Was that somebody, either the Troll Murica or the Douchette? I don't remember which one said that about it.
I think it was Douchette.
Yeah, the douche.
Oh,
The
you can't
Douchette.
trust that man.
The Douchette has been doing an amazing job playing Joe the last few weeks.
Well, that's because Joe's done a terrible job playing Joe the last few weeks.
Bro, he's really slipped off his game.
Yeah.
I tried a little imitation there in the video.
The thing with the douchette is it's only official if he puts it in a spreadsheet.
Gotta be color coded too. Must
Exactly.
be color coded for efficiency.
And you have to get Ewer to read it for you.
I don't know what you mean.
It does not compute.
I find this immensely amusing.
Listen, all you do is yell, so it's okay.
Oh, hey, I have a normal volume. It's the rest of you that are too quiet.
That's not the lady at the hotel thought.
The lady at the Rex
You
Motel.
talk too loud! You talk too loud!
Look, the lady at the Rex Motel clearly had a crush on Joe, and she wanted us all to leave because she wanted Joe to herself.
You talk too loud! You leave! No me fuck white boy!
And possibly she wanted Average Dad too. You know, it's like a, it's like a
Tag team! Tag team!
like a Joe on old Joe threesome.
Oh.
Well, Average Dad was in awesome form down in the fall when they came down to Detroit. I was picking them up to go out, and the hotel I was picking them up at, they had one of those big old limo SUVs for a bachelorette party. And they all came streaming out right in front of him, boingy boingy, and he went nuts. Awesome.
You know what? The biggest thing I miss about Joe not coming up here anymore is hanging out with Average Dad.
Average Dad is pretty awesome.
He is.
Well, I just remember that we were so drunk after that Friday night, and you kicked us all out of your house because you had to get up early the next day. And we were just in Paul and Matt's hotel room. We didn't know what the fuck to do, and all of a sudden, Joe's dad just came in his well, I thought it was a van, but apparently it's an SUV, and he's just like, "I'm here to save you guys. Who needs to go to the flying saucer?" We're like, we do, please, we need an adult. We're very drunk right now.
Does he talk like Joe?
No, he actually is much more manly than Joe is.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are fucked.
Pretty much. He calls everyone a fag, and
Joe's like, "Hey, baby, I'm Dusty Rose," and he's like, "Shut the fuck up. I'm telling you guys, a flying saucer."
shut up, you fag. Let's go to Flight Saucer.
Yeah.
Lee, I put a new picture up for you on the Google Plus page, the comments.
Okay, I have to watch this.
It's the new Wellington mascot.
Okay.
Kind of sexist.
Well, we
then I
don't like
definitely
sexism here.
I had to look. Wish I hadn't.
Sorry about that.
It's alright.
Had to be done.
All right, let's see.
I haven't seen it, but it looks like Lee's enjoying it. He's
Yeah,
pretending he
I
isn't
haven't
even
seen
out
it.
yet.
I'm just opening it up now.
I would say Guy's enjoying it anyway.
What the hell happened to Guy? He
Your
hasn't
new
been here for a
mascot,
while.
Welly guy. Oh wow, that's sexy as fuck.
From one of his latest videos.
Where is this? Is this on Lee's channel?
No, go to G Plus and go to their Rhino's posting of the fucking hangout.
Oh, okay.
And
What's
there
the
you
picture
go.
of? I don't have the internet open other than this window.
Okay, well I will just I'll just link it in the chat. I think it should work.
Picture of some long legs,
There you
Not
go,
really
right
all
there.
that long, honestly.
or like Guy not wearing pants.
There, I just posted in the chat.
Did you print it out?
I did.
Oh boy.
Oh my!
Oh my!
I think if that cut off just a little bit lower, you'd probably see a little bit of ball sack there.
Fucking Guy.
I'm
The
putting
best
that up
part
on the
is
chart.
he got all those. He got that new printer that prints out posters, and look at his walls now. It's like beer posters everywhere that he didn't pay for.
I'll tack it up beside the 50 on the wall.
Jesus Christ.
What
I'm
he used to
seeing
do
this
is
now.
what he used to do is print out a whole lot of those and then put them all over your beer fest in May.
Wow.
Does
Did someone,
Welly have a booth?
did someone Instagram this to them? I'm sure it'll be all over it.
Is Welly going to have a booth there, Chad?
No, Welly never got back to me.
Oh, no.
I sent Roger a message, and he never got back to me.
Now they will.
He's gonna do a whole photo shoot with that chick from fucking Bose.
I'm going to print off 200 and just stand outside and hand them out to people.
Find this guy inside there.
If I can make it.
If you rub his balls, you get a prize.
It's like a Aladdin's lamp.
That's not a genie. That's not
A
a
little
genie
bit more
that just came
hairy
out.
and soft, though.
Somebody just got a genie on their chest.
Well, we sold 4 tickets in the first few days, so that's pretty good. Just since I haven't actually started pushing the festival yet.
Hey, Chad, you know what? Don't worry, because once I figure out my schedule for May, you will have another 2 tickets sold.
That's like a massive head start.
I'm one of those 4.
Yes, you are.
But I'm like 90%.
actually-
I'm like 90% sure I'll make it. So.
I get to see everybody's name that buys tickets. I know who bought them.
Well, it's because
I knows who bought some.
I might not be able to make it, so I wanted to at least buy one.
Hope that you can. Hope that you can.
Yeah, I've got a new kid coming in the next month or 2, so
Is it yours?
it is. Well, pretty sure.
Pretty sure it's mine.
Mhm.
He's taking responsibility anyway, so there
Yeah.
you go.
Way to go.
Yeah, I don't have any real responsibilities, but I'm hoping I might get a dog by then.
I
So.
don't know. You have a $4,000 cat to take care of.
Yeah, you gotta kind of think about that first before you get a fucking dog.
Yeah,
You don't
no.
have a dog?
Well, I do, but he lives at my mom's house. I actually want to get one that lives at our place.
Oh, that thing? Holy shit.
Yeah,
That's not a dog.
yeah. My dog scared the shit out of Yor when it went for his balls.
No. It wasn't that. It's like it approached me like it's like telling me get on. I'm like, no, I'm not riding this monster.
Whose insurance would pay for it if that cat got run over by a K car?
I don't fucking know, but that cat's not going outside. My chief cat, he can go outside all he wants. If he jumps off the balcony, well, that's that. But no, this cat is staying inside under lock and key at all times. She is worth a lot.
Your Bowfeld cat is staying in the fucking lair. Yeah.
She is very valuable to me.
She's a commodity. She might be declining in value, but she was free, so as long as I can get $5 for her, I still make a profit.
Might get adopted by Crystal Waltz.
No, I just like people. I just like to be able to tell people that I have a $4,000 cat because I would never have a $4,000 cat if it wasn't that somebody gave it to me.
The cat's gonna get catnapped.
I know. I gotta put like a chastity belt on her. Make sure nobody's gonna have it their way with her.
Hey Lee, what did you pour in that little Glencairn there, bub?
I poured Sir Robert Burns Scotch, which is mild and inoffensive, not too bad.
What is that? Like, it's a Scotch, I assume, but like a space side or what?
That's an independent bottler, right?
It's Isle of Arran.
Oh.
I don't remember if that's space side or not.
I'm not really familiar with that one. But...
Yeah, it's not great. It's like basically your budget Scotch, pretty much. I mean, it's somewhere around the same price range as fucking Johnny Walker and stuff, except for it's a single malt. Oh no, it's blended. It's blended too, yeah. But it's not bad. I can't, with my fucking cold I'm getting rid of, I can't fucking taste or smell any of it right now, so it's especially good, but...
You know what? I mean, I know Johnny Walker is not really known as like a high-end, like sort of Scotch. It's not even a single malt, obviously, but I think Johnny Walker Black is still an excellent whiskey.
Johnny Walker Black is fucking awesome.
Yep. I concur.
That is like your best bang for buck fucking blend you can find, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Because it's got a...
You actually got in the mood to open something.
Yeah, it's got that little bit of peat smoke going on there, so it's got a little bit of more character than your regular shit, and it's fucking good.
Well, the thing is, I mean, my very favorite Scotch I've ever had is the Talisker 10-year-old. Now, I haven't had a huge amount of Scotch, so, you know, if anyone's a Scotch snob, please don't get too offended. But I love Talisker 10-year-old, and I believe Johnny Walker Black, I think Talisker 10-year-old is what they blend into it to give it the smoky taste, so...
Yeah, I think you're right. There you go. Talisker 10 is quite goddamn good.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I think I have heard that somewhere that Johnny Walker Black, they blend Talisker into it to make the smoky aftertaste.
Yeah.
It really depends on the batch too. I mean, people don't think about it, but even these big scotches that are, you know, big brand name ones that are blends and stuff like that you see all the time, they still go through batch variations. I mean, look at like Valentine's and stuff. Like, they go through batch variations. For the longest time, they went down in quality where people just thought, oh, it's bullshit budget scotch that no one wants to drink. And the last few years, they've upped the stuff that they've used in their blends, and they've come back to actually being like a really great fucking budget
Crown
blend.
Royal Rye. It's like the most popular whiskey in Ontario right now. You can't get it.
Thank you for your support.
You're welcome, York.
He is not endorsing Ewart, by the way. Anyone watching, he's not endorsing Ewart. He's endorsing whiskey.
Lot 40 just, I think, won Canadian Whiskey of the Year by...
Oh, I don't know how that's possible. I don't know how that's possible if Northern Harvest Rye is the best whiskey in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's probably possible because Lot 40 is fucking awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I mean, a panel of 10 people versus one solo guy who's like basically a hack blogger. I don't know. I'll go with the hack blogger guy.
The guy that writes the Whiskey Bible, and after all, how many people out there are religious? And, like, anyway.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Chad Poland's got published, all right, buddy? That's all I got to say.
I thought you were going to make fun of me there for a second. I was going to have to beat you, but yeah. Fucking Chad's taking my name and putting it through the dirt.
He actually replied to my review a little while ago for his book, finally.
Oh, you reviewed his book?
Yeah, his Porter and Stout book. I have it on my channel there. He actually finally replied to it a while ago.
Chad Poland's gets spelled.
He basically...
Is this Chad with Z?
Yeah, Zzz.
He seems unlikable.
He basically just pretended that, oh, you know, you don't hate me, so I'm going to talk to you like a normal person, and he basically admitted that, yeah, the book kind of sucks. It doesn't have a fucking index, and that's kind of bullshit. And
What's his book about? Like
porters and stouts.
oh yeah.
Although he didn't write the entire book, he co-wrote it with a bunch of different people, so it's not really his book so much as it is a collaboration book. And it's not all that good. It's kind of a terrible reference for anyone who is serious about like actually learning about porters and stouts because it has no discernible index.
Ghost written by Johnny Wikipedia.
It's worse than Wikipedia, man. It's terrible. It's really terrible as far as that shit's concerned. And I mean, it's supposed to like credit who reviewed what, but some pages don't even credit the fucking reviewer. So you're just getting this weird random review from who fuck knows for a certain beer, and it's like, what? Huh? But I mean, it's not the worst coffee table fucking beer book I've ever seen, but it definitely dropped the fucking ball as far as like an index goes and a glossary and shit like that. Like it just doesn't have any of that shit in it.
Does he actually have hard covers that you can buy?
Oh yeah, you can get it on Amazon and eBay and shit. Like, and you get hardcover and stuff. And honestly, that's what I recommend, buying it on eBay, so you can get actually a decent price for it. Like get like a, you know, because I paid low 20s for my book, and it was originally selling for 30-something hardcover, and definitely not worth it. I mean, if you can get it fucking for $20 or less, then definitely buy it. But other than that, fuck that.
Hey, you guys were talking about TV shows before. I wanted to chime in. A lot of the TV shows that I've been trying to get attached to in the past bunch of years, they're always the ones that get axed. So, Boss was a really good show.
That's the Kelsey Grammer one, isn't it?
Yeah, that was really good. The start of it, anyways, was really good. I thought it had potential, but I think it got axed after the second season. V, that first season of the when they were trying to bring back V, was really good as well, I thought. And Firefly was another one.
Oh, Firefly was a... You know what? That's a good question, too. What shows that have been canceled do you wish were still on air? Like, Firefly, I loved. Carnival, I really wanted to know where they were going to go with that.
Yeah.
Rome was a really good show. I wish they hadn't finished it in 2 years.
Chad, I just said V was another one.
I've never watched V myself, to be honest. I've meant to, but I've never gotten around to it.
It was about the last TV show that I started actually watching on TV when it was on, because I had I had good memories from the original series back when I was young. Just one of those shows that kind of scared me as a kid, but I liked it. And then the new series came out. Whatever, I don't know when that was, like 5 years ago, and it looked like it was about to be really good, and then got axed. So that and Boss with Kelsey Grammer was another one that got axed after the first or second year.
There was a show I watched back in, I guess it was the 90s. It was called Space Above and Beyond.
That was a great show.
I love that show, and they canceled it after like the second season, I think. And that was sort of the precursor to what you saw later on in fucking the Battlestar Galactica reboot. I mean, it was exactly the same kind of stuff. And I guess it was just sort of ahead of its time at that point, because it disappeared. Like, it ended on kind of a downer cliffhanger at that, like, where like half the fucking cast got murdered at the last show or whatever, and I was like, oh man, that's so fucking depressing. I was like totally invested in the show, and it's like, fuck you guys. And
I'll have to look that up. I've actually been getting into Battlestar Galactica lately. Watching
Space
Above and Beyond, you can buy the complete series on like Amazon for like $15. Or you can find it online for nothing. It's all up to you.
It was really good. I really love that show.
It was one of those shows that a buddy of mine had watched, and I had watched a few episodes when I was younger, but forgot all about it. And then he brought up that he was watching it again, so I looked it up and I found it online for $15, and I'm like, I can't go wrong for $15.
Yeah.
Like 20 hours of entertainment for $15? Yeah, I'll pay for it.
My wife and I just started watching The Americans, which is actually pretty good.
Like I said earlier, I watched The Expanse that has Thomas Jane in it. It was actually kind of interesting.
What was that? The Expanse?
The Expanse.
The Expanse. Never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a sci-fi show. It's like a sci-fi original, but sci-fi... They don't normally make a bunch of shows that I really like, but this one actually worked out. Another one that they did was Dark Matter, and I actually really like Dark Matter. And then there's a British show called Black Mirror. And
Black Mirror is
it's an amazing show.
That is the
show is
best
fun.
TV show going.
Yes.
I just watched...
I only saw one episode, but I was sold after that.
Did you watch the first episode, the fucking episode?
Yeah. The pig, yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
I watched the first two so far, and the second one is amazing.
That is the modern equivalent of the best of the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, that is so fucking great, that show.
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I gotta get back to that. But
That's the reason I like... I know we usually talk about beer, but I mean, most of us are film geeks too, so it's fun to talk about TV and film every once in a while as well.
speaking of TV, if you only want 2.5 seasons to get to a really, really good show, if anybody's seen The Newsroom,
Yeah, it's good.
spectacular.
Thing I love about Black Mirror, though, going back to that, is that it's a British show, and they still have that. Sort of stringent kind of. All of our shows are going to be short series. Like, it's only going to be 2 episodes, maybe at the very most 13. So everything we're going to do, we're going to give you like the best fucking 13 episodes we can fucking write.
And people get angry at me when I say it, but you can't go wrong with BBC shows. You really can't.
Yeah. I mean, Luther, Sherlock, the one that David Tennant is doing. What is it called? Broadchurch or?
Well, I mean, you also can go all the way to the other side. You have like In the Flesh, which is a great zombie show, which is all about hatred and racism and fear and all that. You have the modern day Doctor Who, which there are some great episodes and some horrible episodes. Torchwood. If you want to go like
watching This Is England 90.
I just started watching The Last Kingdom, which is another fairly good in-depth show. If you want to go full-on campy and want to remember the days of like Xena and Hercules being on TV, there's Atlantis.
I think there's a British show that came out a few years ago. It's like a zombie show, but it wasn't like a series. It was like a 6-part miniseries or something. That was pretty good.
Oh, Dead Set, or whatever the fuck was called?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Dead Set, yeah.
The one where it was
Dead Set was a reality show. It was Big Brother with zombies.
And that was really good. That was really good.
I watched Dead Set one night when my insomnia kicked in. I watched all 6 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Around the middle of it, there's poopies.
That's the only reason you like it, isn't it?
It's true. It can be the worst show ever, but if there's boobies in it, I approve.
Okay, I'm out of beer, so and I'm actually out of beer other than the stuff in the cellar, so I gotta go get some hard liquor. I'll be right back.
Oh, what you getting, good sir?
I'm guessing it's going to be maple whiskey or maple whiskey.
I was gonna say it's probably flavored whiskey. He can't drink pure alcohol like a weed.
Yeah, it's going to be some sort of bullshit flavored whiskey from Canada. I know it.
Hey, Greg, don't pussy out. Those are supposed to be chiladas in there. Your dad was right. You are a pussy.
Yeah, well, true.
Yeah.
Hey, you think I'm a pussy? Right now, I have an entire stein of Molson 67 IPA. That's 3% alcohol, my friends.
Pussy.
Well, we no longer think you're a pussy. We have confirmed that you are a pussy.
Various sources.
You have now spotted the pubic hair growing.
He's finally got his first sprouts.
Mm-hmm.
Later he's going for a jog or jogging. Not sure if the J is silent.
There's definitely some Silent Jane going on tonight.
Anybody remember this show?
Dead Zone.
Dead Zone.
Oh,
No,
with Anthony Michael Hall.
Oh, he was in, what was the Breakfast Club? No, not Breakfast Club.
Yeah, he was in the Breakfast
Yeah,
Club.
Breakfast
he was
Club,
in
what?
Breakfast Club. He was in Weird Science. He was
Wasn't he in 16 Candles where he essentially raped that girl, but it was all okay because it's an 80s comedy?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love 80s.
He's also in The Dark Knight.
Yeah, he was. He was the reporter or whatever. Gets captured by the Joker. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought the first couple seasons of that were pretty good, but it tapered off after that. Although it was kind of sad to see it get canceled before the arc finished.
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes of that, but then I never sort of got into it. I don't know. Maybe it was just because I was like such a big fan of like the actual book and the Christopher Walken film that I kind of felt like this doesn't need to be a series. I kind of felt like it didn't need to be.
You got a point. I mean, it was kind of interesting to see them try and turn it into a series, but the Christopher Walken one was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never read the actual book, but yeah, I love the Walken movie.
I'm psychic and it's crazy.
So you saw Hateful Eight, didn't you, there, Lee?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's his best film, but
No spoilers.
I did think it was really well done, and I think it was a really nice fuck you to all of his critics as well, because basically the entire movie is designed to basically, here's everything people have criticized me for, well, I'm just going to do it like 10 times worse and lay it out in front of you, and there you go, fuck you, Spike Lee, I hope you have a heart attack, basically. You know.
Like the whole second half of the movie, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
So there's lots of blood and a foot fetish?
I thought it started off rather slow. I'm like, I got to like halfway to the movie, and I was like, oh, nobody's died yet. And then all of a sudden, wham!
Yeah, then they make up for that.
Yeah, they definitely do. I enjoyed it. I was thoroughly engaged through the whole thing. I mean, it is a slow build-up kind of movie, but I loved every minute of it. And
it's just like my brother pointed out, it has a lot of parallels with Reservoir Dogs.
It does, because it has that sort of theatrical sort of stage play kind of feel to it, where everyone's in a isolated location or whatever.
Isolated location with very limited outside.
Yeah, well, the first half hour is outside where he's like really showing off the 70mm fucking film or whatever, and then he gets in the cabin, and he does an amazing thing where, even though it's in a cabin and everyone's isolated and everything should feel very claustrophobic, and it does.
That's the biggest cabin in the world.
At the same time, yeah, 70mm, it looks like the biggest fucking cabin in the world, but at the same time it feels incredibly claustrophobic, and that's quite an achievement right there, and I thought it was really well done. My only complaint would be that it's kind of obvious where the story's going, and it doesn't surprise you much. Like, there's no really big, major twist as far as I was concerned.
But see, I kind of like that, because you expected there to be some sort of a twist, and then there kind of isn't. It kind of goes exactly where you think it's going to go, and I was super happy for it. I'm just like, people like, for instance, your co-host Daniel, I think are going to be very offended by that ending, but I fucking loved it.
Hey, he ain't M. Night Shyamalan, all right? You want twists? Here you go. He's not that. I think he writes great stuff and he films it well. It's just now a classic Tarantino, that's for sure.
I was really impressed with it, and I love the soundtrack. I love the fact that he got Morricone to actually do new shit for the soundtrack and just bring in a couple of pieces from The Thing that were not used for John Carpenter's The Thing. And I mean, it really draws from past movies really well. Like, it draws from The Thing very well. I mean, and 10 Little Indians and shit like that. Like, it's got that sort of who's the killer kind of mystery element to it, and it's done really well. And Kurt Russell in there. Kurt Russell was in The Thing, so there's that sort of connection there, and it feels really cool. And yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with it. I mean, it did everything I wanted the movie to do, and I definitely loved it. I thought it was really great. So
One thing I really noticed while watching it is, the English guy, right? The guy that was played by the guy who played the cop in Reservoir Dogs.
Tim Roth, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I felt that guy's role was almost acted like it was supposed to be written for Christoph Waltz. Like maybe they didn't get him for the movie or something.
It might have been, but I kind of feel like it was like.
I mean, he did a good job nonetheless. It's just like I wasn't sure who I was watching at first.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of find it hard to believe Christoph Waltz would have turned it down if he was offered it. So
That's true, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Tim Roth hasn't been in a Tarantino film since Pulp Fiction, maybe.
Oh yeah, where he played the guy who robbed the restaurant.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in one since then. So it was cool to see him back.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him. I had to look him up at. Sorry, go ahead.
What?
What were you gonna say?
Is Lee choking? Lee okay? Someone give him the Heimlich.
I was gonna say nothing. I'm just my fucking cough came up.
You say we should give him the Heimlich?
Roofies in the drink.
Yeah.
No, I'm just getting over a fucking cold, and I just have this lingering fucking cough that has just like been ruining my life for the last week and a half. So
Get back in there, Lee. Get back in there.
get out of there, Rock.
Hey guys, cheers.
Someone Cosby his drink.
Oh, what are you drinking, Chad? What's going
I was
on?
going to bring up this
Chad.
cup. It's a neti pot. Chad.
No, this isn't the cup you were going to bring up. This is a small one. This is the small version of the cup you were going to bring
What do
up.
you have in that incredibly offensive bullshit fucking glass?
This.
What is it?
The Maine Pinnacle's 1859 Reserve, which is a apple brandy aged for 2 years in it's an apple cider aged for 2 years in Appalachian brandy barrels.
Is there maple in it?
Enough about the apples.
Mm.
Yeah,
That's
as a
even
glass.
gayer than what I speculated it was going to be.
Oh man, that glass is the worst. And I like glass.
What was that? What was that, Lee?
I said that's even gayer than what I speculated it was going to be.
What did you speculate it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be like fucking maple whiskey or some shit.
I thought about the maple whiskey, but I'm almost out of the maple whiskey.
I knew it. I knew that was going to be.
Where
a
I have
consideration.
3 bottles of this, and actually my good scotch I'm almost out of too, and I don't have the money to buy another bottle, so I just left that as well. I actually was almost going to go with the Ungave, which is a yellow gin. I was almost going to go with that.
What scotch you got?
Yeah, a bunch of scotches here.
Oh, I love the Agave. It's like looks like piss yellow, like neon yellow. It's like
Yep.
it's totally natural color. We didn't color this at all. I'm like, I don't think so, guys. This doesn't look real.
No, they put saffron and stuff in it, so it actually might be the real color.
I don't know. That's pretty neon.
Yeah, have you actually cooked or anything with saffron?
No, I have not, good sir.
It's pretty neon. I'm not saying for sure it is natural, but I'm saying that it's plausible.
So, well, you know what? If there's one thing we can take away from this evening is that you know more about saffron than I do.
But his glassware is ridiculous.
This is a proper glass right here. Like Lee will agree with that.
That's right.
I have lots of glasses. Come on, I have like
straw?
400 glasses.
Yeah, and the one you're drinking right now is a goddamn sippy straw on it.
And I did this to piss you off, and you should know that.
I do know that, and I fucking hate you for it. You fucking
You guys
moron.
you all need to know what proper glassware means. Proper glassware means that you're drinking whatever it is in the branded glassware of said liquid. Doesn't matter shape or size. That don't matter. That's proper.
Shut the fuck up, you.
Hey, where's Aaron Doucette when I need him? He'll back me up on this one.
I've seen
He
the
wouldn't back you up on this bullshit. Come on, Aaron is a fucking. He is a fucking cultured man. He would not back you up on these fucking sippy straw fucking glasses.
He's a vegetable.
No, if it was branded for Domain Pinnacle, he would say I was drinking out of proper glass.
Absolutely, he would. Absolutely, he would. No matter
But
how
that
ridiculous
is
the
never
glass
going to
is.
happen.
No matter how much he hated it, he would admit it's proper glass.
And it's never going to happen, so stop putting these caveats into...
I have a Bellwood shaker glass. Should I drink Bring All Your Dead from it?
That's fine. That would be proper. Yep.
Okay. That'll be my next Bring Out Your Dead drinking.
Chad, if you diarrheaed into the big end, you could hit the moon with the small end of that glass. Just so you know.
Nice. I want to see that.
That's a nice hat you have there, Jamie.
You mean Donald?
You mean Jay?
Jay?
Donald Therio?
Donald Terrio.
Rollin' Terrio.
Rolling, ride.
Rollin'. Racism.
I miss
Racism. Rollin'.
You guys.
Well, what the fuck? He's never going to show up again, so fuck him. What the fuck? He decided to scare himself the fuck off. He's like, oh, Lee doesn't like me anymore, so I can't join fucking BDU anymore. Fuck you, you fucking coward.
At least when he joined, he gave an
Drinking
invite.
Bud Ice 2.0 here.
Nice.
At least when Jay joined, he gave an an engaging beer conversation. He wasn't like he's a little bit racist, but at least when he talks about beer, he'll talk about beer.
Racist?
I did nothing to scare that stupid bastard off. He scared himself off, so fuck him.
I think he just didn't like us anymore and didn't want to say it.
Mark Starr.
He still makes comments under the fucking BDU videos.
Is he?
Oh, he's quirky. We all love him.
I don't love him. I think he's an asshole.
Stirring the
fuck
pot.
him.
Just stirring the pot, Lee.
Fuck him. I mean, if he's gonna be a bitch like that, then fuck him.
Hey, I took my beating last week, so I am here.
Well,
You
that's
didn't take-
how you know when we like you. We beat you.
Yeah.
I
But
like it.
you didn't really take a beating. We were just making fun. But I mean, fucking Jay, if you're watching this, it doesn't matter the fact that I unfriended you on Facebook. It's not a goddamn big slight on your entire fucking life. Get the fuck over it. If you want to come back to BDU, you're fucking invited, bitch.
He's welcome to join. I mean, what happens between you and Jay is not an indication of what happens.
I'm not gonna go after you. I'm not gonna go after you like I'm fucking Dave, the beer professor. I can talk to you civilly. I've always have. But I mean,
By the way, we won.
The only
If
thing
anyone's watching, we want you back too.
the only reason I'm fucking shitting on you right now is because you're acting like a bitch. That's the only reason.